What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream today. We're going to do a lot different of a stream. Obviously, we're going to start with a lot of our shorter term time frame stuff, but we're going to talk a lot about longer term time frame stuff because I think it's about that time we start talking about longer time frame stuff. And you know what? I'm personally, right? You guys see, I don't have anything on today. No bullhorns, no freaking helmets, right? No McDonald's hats. Right, I was off today. I was off of my shift, so I don't have any McDonald's stuff on right now. But guys, I'm going to talk about a lot of long-term stuff today because I think it's about that time. And to be honest, the Bitcoin price action on the short-term time frame right now is pretty freaking boring. So let's switch it up a little bit today, right? I purposely didn't do the morning stream today because there really was not much to talk about. So I don't want to force myself to talk about something when there's nothing to talk about today. So there is stuff to talk about in the long term, so we're going to touch on that today, okay? Talk about that today. But we've pretty much been going sideways, if not slightly down today. Let me take a sip of my coffee here. Hold on. I was actually doing my foam rolling. Yes, I foam roll before the stream today, stretching out those glutes. And that back, feel pretty nice right now. I feel pretty loose and limber, so I'm ready to go. Anyways, on the hourly time frame, it looks like Bitcoin is trying to form. It looked like an ascending triangle, but we're getting rejected here now. So I think this is probably going to end up more like a little symmetrical triangle here. Makes a little more sense now that we just got rejected, kind of a down-sloping resistance now. So looks like a little bit of a symmetrical triangle that could obviously break to the upside or the downside, right? We don't have our crystal balls, right? We don't have our crystal balls today. Yeah, I mean, let's take a look at our possible breakout targets for this, right? I mean, if this was to break to the upside, obviously keep in mind this is the hourly time frame. So, I mean, there's only really so much you can take into account for the hourly time frame. But if we were to break out today, that would put us at approximately about 33,400. And same point, if we broke this to the downside, we'd be seeing approximately about, 29,600, depending on where we broke out. We'll see where this ends up breaking out. But like I said, it's an hourly time frame chart, so take it with a grain of salt. Now, yesterday, right? What were we talking about yesterday? Well, I actually don't remember yesterday's stream. I think we already broke down from this rising wedge yesterday, and we got a bunch of red candles down to the downside, but so much for today, we pretty much been going sideways. So not a bunch different to talk about from yesterday, right? So we still have our major supports, right? 30,071, 28,803 if we do dip down. We're going to take a look at a couple of our 4 hours and things like that, but that's really the supports going down. The real level we need to get back above is 32,500. We get back above that, I see a quick move, in my opinion, back up to about 34,400. Hourly RSI right in the damn middle. So we have room to run to the upside or to the downside, whichever way we break here. So tomorrow is Sunday, right? Probably expect some volatile action today and tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually did go lower. We're going to talk about that in a second here, though. Volume is decreasing here. Volume's decreasing. So we will probably see a decent move here within the next 6 or 7 hours or so. Okay, so that's really the hourly time frame. 4 hour, not much different here. We're still in our green box of hope, right? It's our green box of hope. Every time we drop in this, we don't tend to stay in there that long, though. This time we're kind of hanging out in there, which I guess isn't the worst thing, right? We've seen worse things happen to us the last couple weeks, like this dip here, but. If this does drop below, if this does drop below 31,145 on a close, I see it getting bought up pretty fast. We actually did that earlier today, it looks like this morning, where we actually closed below this, and then the next candle we instantly got back up right to the upside. So someone doesn't want Bitcoin going below 31,145 on a close. Let's see if we can keep it that way. A lot of buy pressure you can see on these wicks, on these 4 hour candles, pushing us back to the upside there. So we'll see what happens there. 4 hour RSI also has a ton of room to run to the upside or downside. So that's really not telling us much either. Hence why there's not really much to talk about here in the short term. You can see like this trend line, this purple trend line. I know everyone and their mother still talk about this purple trend line. Now everyone's talking about this possible descending triangle where this green box is actually our support. And then we have this downwards resisting trend line of this purple line. I mean, it makes sense. You got a bunch of touches all the way on the way down here, right? And you keep getting rejected, making lower highs, other than this one little fake out, I guess you could call it. And you're pretty much getting support at the same level on the bottom side. So maybe this is a descending triangle. I don't really take that for much validity there, because you did get a massive breakout to the upside here. You've also had wicks that dropped way far below the support too. So that's kind of pulling straws there, but it definitely could be an option. I don't like us making lower highs consistently there, and actually lower lows if you actually look at where we closed, but definitely in some type of downtrend on the 4-hour time frame. We still have the possibility of this. Now, we talked about yesterday. This is the one thing where, you know, could be happening here in the short term. Like I said, this is kind of a stretch, right? This is kind of a stretch. You guys know the fractal, right? I'm not going to go over it fully again, but this is the same fractal from down here, this price action that ended up going sideways for a while and then eventually moving to the back to the upside. We could be, right, in theory, at this same point right here. We talked about it yesterday, how we could actually be forming this double bottom before getting a move to the upside and then kind of just continuing our sideways action. That's what we could be doing here. You see, we're getting that double bottom. If we do bounce, I mean, if it was to look like how it did back here, you kind of be expecting probably something like this, right? Come back down, you know, and just ride this kind of trend line before eventually we're getting a move back up to the upside. I know that sounds super damn boring, but that actually is what this market needs. And we're going to go over that kind of in the longer term analysis coming up shortly here. But this is something that could be playing out here, looking pretty damn similar, although not perfect, but definitely something to keep looking out for. On the 4-hour time frame, right? This could also, everyone and their mother talking about the wick-off accumulation. I'm tired of talking about the wick-off accumulation. It is something that could be playing out, though. I mean, we talk about it every damn day. That's kind of the boringness of the sideways action. But this could still be the spring, right? This could be the back test of the spring. And then we could come up here, back test it one more time, and then continue that wick off. We'll continue to watch this too, but this right now is speculation at the moment. We need that big pump to the upside to kind of confirm the back test of the spring. So we'll see if that comes as well coming up here, right? Obviously, a lot of people always you got to look at the bearish perspective too. This could just be the wick off redistribution, where, you know, we topped out, we came back down, we consolidate, and then we come back down lower, right? That obviously could be the case too. So not rule that out if we break a lot of these supports. If we break 28,800, I think it's likely that a move back down to our golden pocket at the 0.618 and the 0.65 that we'll look at in a second is definitely a possibility. If not, a move back down to retest 20,000, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it'll get bought up in that golden pocket. But we'll take a look at that in a second. We'll take a look at it in just a freaking second. Okay, so back up. What's everyone saying in the chat today? Everyone's people look pretty bearish in the chat today. People look pretty bearish. I guarantee you in a couple days we'll be, you know, at 35,000. Everyone will be bullish again. So anyways, we'll look at that. On the week, all right, let's start some of our weekly time frame stuff. So just to clarify, all right, this is just looking at this from a previous data standpoint, right? We're taking the data that we have and trying to apply it to this market that we're currently in. Now, I want to preface with saying you can't take previous data and expect it to play out perfectly. I'm going to preface that first so I don't get everyone in the chat saying you can't compare previous bull markets to current bull markets, right? All we're doing is taking the data, seeing what happened in the last bull markets, and implying what, if we were to repeat, what would happen, okay? So just want to preface that before everyone in the chat starts saying blah, 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 okay? Weekly chart on the, this is basically the Wick 1 weekly chart, right? We're going to start with the weekly, look at a couple of weekly charts, a couple of monthly charts, and see what we're kind of looking at here in the broader picture, okay? Right here, so the green line here is the, basically our, hold on, let me refresh myself. I have a bunch of different charts here. So we got our 50, 100, and our 200. So basically what we know, let's start from the bottom, right? We know our 200-week moving average is our red line here. That's been our support in every bear market, okay? So I'm going to start with that because we've touched on that a bunch in the past. right? So that is my absolute worst case scenario. That's like if the US banned Bitcoin or something. That's like serious FUD pushing us down. Okay, that's worst case scenario here. And there's a couple reasons why I don't think we even reach that low, even if we did get that crazy FUD. All right, so let's start with that. You should do a poll to find out bears versus bulls. Yeah, pretty much. No, but today we're going to talk about a lot of the bear scenarios, right? Because we always talk about a lot of the bullish scenarios. We always give a lot of hopium. We're going to give a lot of hopium, right? Trust me, there's a lot of hopium coming in the stream today. But there's also a lot of realistic downside, right? That we're also going to go over in the stream today. So this is going to be a super realistic stream. The bulls and the bears are probably going to get salty at certain points in the stream today. So be prepared, okay? So the 200-day moving average that currently sits at 13,400, right? That is my worst case scenario for Bitcoin. I don't think we drop down below that. I think it's almost slightly, I'm not going to say impossible, but I think it's damn near impossible for Bitcoin to break below 14,000, okay? Or 13,300. Our next line, right? Our blue line here is our 100-week moving average, right? Might sound kind of arbitrary, right? You say, Jordan, why the heck are you using the 100-week moving average? No one else uses it. Exactly. I don't like to parrot everyone else from only using the 20-week moving average and only using the 200-week moving average. We're going to look at different things today and not parrot everyone else that's out there. Okay, so the 100-week moving average. Why is that so important? Well, it's really not. It's really not important. But we're going to take a look at a couple different things in previous bear markets. If we were to be in a bear market, what we would kind of expect as far as structure goes. So let's go over our blue line here, which is our 100-week moving average. In 2017, we moved down here, right? We're going to go over our green line here, which is the 50-week, which I think is the most important line that we're kind of looking for here for Bitcoin. But anyways, our 100-week moving average, you can see as long as we stayed above this, we were generally going sideways. And what do we do? Well, we generally went sideways here until we met our 100-week moving average. And what happened after we broke that 100-week moving average? Well, we got that big dip from about $6,000 all the way down to $3,000, almost a 50% dip there, okay? So that was the key point where Bitcoin decided to pretty much say to everyone in the freaking market, right? Now, if we were to zoom back out here, let me get rid of that. Let's go over to 2013 and see if we had something similar, right? In 2013, RSI almost at 2018 and COVID bottom. Yeah, we're going to go over that too, man. We're looking at everything long-term today because I'm sick of looking at short-term stuff. That's why I didn't stream earlier today. Yeah, we're going to look at that today for sure, man. All right, so 2013, what did we do? Did we do a similar type of thing? Well, we did. You look here, we dipped, right? We dipped, but we generally, for the most part, went generally down and sideways, right? We didn't have that big capitulation down to the downside until we actually met that 100-week moving average. And that's when we really got that big major dip down to the downside here, right? And that one is approximately about a 61% dip over the course of a couple weeks there. So that 100-week moving average is pretty damn important. I'm going to show you guys why if we zoom out right here. So where is that 100-week moving average right now? Well, it actually conveniently, where does it happen to be? Exactly at our previous all-time high. And this is why I don't think we break the 100-week moving average or our previous all-time highs, or if we do, it's going to be a quick move back down, in my opinion, to lower levels, possibly 16,000. Possibly 13,500. We'll go over that in a second if that were to happen, okay? This is a basic scenario for the bulls and the bears, okay? If we were to go back down to the 100-week moving average, what did we do in the past? Well, we held it for a little bit and then we broke down. We got a pretty significant move back down after hitting that 100-week moving average. Currently sits right at our all-time highs, very, very conveniently, right? I don't think it's very convenient. I think a lot of this stuff is painted by the whales and they do this stuff on purpose. So that's why this 100-week moving average is so important. We'll look over the next couple of weeks, right? I plan on doing these longer term streams at least once a week going forward. We'll continue to look at this going forward once a week, but we'll see if that eventually gets hit here. Now, our 50-week moving average, which where we are right now. So this is going to kind of tie into some of our shorter term analysis here. Our 50-week moving average is currently what we're trying to hold right at the moment. Now, we've talked about this in the past. Why is the 50-week moving average so important for Bitcoin? Well, if you go to our previous bear market, right, we hit that 50-week moving average, and that was kind of our first big pump back up to the upside before continuing lower, right? We got a 50% move to the upside. Sorry, I know it said 69, it said 69%, but we actually got a 50% move to the upside after hitting it in the bear market and then continue lower. So for all you bears out there, if we do get a dead cat bounce off this level, all you guys can scream dead cat bounce, dead cat bounce, dead cat bounce. That's what we did in 2017, right? Let's go over to 2013. What did we do? Well, we pretty much came back down, wicked down to that 100-week moving average, and then it got approximately about almost 100% move to the upside before continuing back down. So once again, we hit that 50-week moving average. We bounce from this level. I expect all the bears to be in the chat to say dead cat bounce, dead cat bounce, dead cat bounce. We'll probably hear every other YouTuber talking about it after it already happens, right? So we'll see what happens there. But at the two previous times, we did get a bounce off that level before continuing lower. Now, do we have anything bullish to say about this weekly time frame stuff? Well, we do, right? It's actually not bullish right now, but it could be bullish here in the next couple weeks. Let's take a look why, right? So our weekly RSI, I never saw a poor TA tuber be so desperate for a dump. I'm not desperate for a dump, man. I'm being realistic in the long term today, right? I'm being realistic in the long term today. I started out with the bearish stuff. We're gonna go to some of our hopium. Okay, we got some hopium ready. Just be ready for the hopium. It's freaking coming. All right. So RSI on the weekly. All right. We're currently sitting at about a 42 on the RSI. Sitting at 42 on the RSI. Now, if you look back at our previous bear markets, where did we end almost every single time? Well, we tend to hit our bottoms when Bitcoin hits about a 28, or about a 28 on the RSI, right here, right here. And actually in our March 2020 big crash, we actually didn't quite come quite to it, but we actually bounced right above it. So you can see our three more macro bottoms over the course of the past 6 years or so have ended when our RSI is that low. Where do we currently sit right now? A 42, right? So for us to reach a 28, I mean, it depends on how slow we get there. We could have another 4, 5, 6 weeks of small little red candles and hit this 28 on the RSI, right? I mean, small little red candles, like down 2% or 2,000, down 2,000, down 1,000, down 1,000, down 2,000, be somewhere, 23, 24K, and we could hit that level on the RSI and bounce, right? We could hit that level. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to take a major dump down to the downside. Now, we could get one more big red candle down to the downside, like we saw right here, right? A candle like this, where we dropped pretty significantly. I think this was based on the top of the close, about a 25% move to the downside. And we can cover that ground in one candle as well, and then bounce from there as well, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to mean we have to go down for too much longer, but we are pretty damn close to reaching that bottom there on the RSI level. Now, I also have the stock RSI here, but just looking back at previous time frames, the stock RSI can bottom out and you can still be in the middle of a bear market. So keep that in mind. We can see right here, we had this first initial dip in 2013. We bottomed out on the stock RSI and we still ended up going lower, right? Same thing in 2017. We bottomed out on the stock RSI right here and we still ended up going lower. So the stock RSI, not as good as an indicator, but it's still a good indicator to show us at least we have a relative bottom and are due for at least a dead cat bounce to the upside relatively soon, which I think we're going to get here within the next 1 or 2 weeks. At least a move, at least back up to the 40,000s, in my opinion, over the course of maybe the next 1 to 3 weeks, and then we kind of decide what we have to do from there, right? So that's kind of the first weekly chart I have to go off of today, okay? And I do want to, what do you guys saying in the chat? What do you guys saying in the chat? Drink up, lock by position, no bear, bought the top. I'm curious. I thought the chat would be very, very interesting today. Very, very interesting today. Why do bulls' feelings hurt so easily? I don't know. I'm usually bullish every day. But when I look at the bearish scenarios, you know, a lot of people get, a lot of the bulls come in here and get butthurt, even though I do talk pretty bullish every day. And most people know I'm a long-term bull. Okay. Now, switching on over to this monthly chart on BTC. Okay. Switching on over to the monthly chart. We'll look at a little bit more of a longer term time frame as well. And this also, right, this also might actually get the bulls a little bit excited, at least soon, right? Maybe not right now, but soon, okay? So this is the next chart we have to go off of. So basically I have, let me just refresh myself because like I said, I have a million charts here to go over today. I have our 11-month, which sounds pretty arbitrary, but you'll see what I'm talking about here, and our 50-month moving averages. So the 50-month moving average is pretty much the equivalent to the 200-week moving average. It's been our bear market low on the closes every single time we dip, or every single bear market slash major correction, right? You see right here in 2015, right here in 2019, and right here right in 2020. Okay, so basically the equivalent of the 200-week moving average. We're not going to spend too much time on that. Okay, the 11th month moving average, right? Like I said, completely arbitrary. Such a random number, I know, but just bear with me. Bear with me, if you know what I'm saying. Get it? Bear with me. I should probably say bull with me, but we'll continue with bear with me here. The 11th month moving average has been our support. So a lot of people like to look at the 21-week EMA. And the reason why that struggles a little bit is because we actually broke the 21-week EMA in 2013 before continuing higher. Now, me digging into some of the charts today, I did a lot of long-term charting today because I just felt like it, right? That's what I like to do. I like to look at long-term charts. I'm kind of a nerd. But if we look at this, you can see we actually, in a typical bull market, we never broke our 11-month moving average, right? You can see right here in 2013, even after our big dump in 2013, we still held that on a close, right? You can see all of 2013 bull market, we were above that 11-month moving average. Okay, look at in 2017, right? Obviously 2017 was a little bit more parabolic with less big pullbacks. We held it all in 2017, right? Now look at our current place we're at right now. Look at our current place we're at right now. We are sitting right above that 11th month moving average, just like we did in 2013, right here, where we had that first initial dip. We wicked right off of it, continued up, wicked off it again, and continued up, right? So what does this mean for the bulls, right? Does this mean if we break this on a monthly close, we could be stressing out a little bit? Well, let's take a look at what happened after we did break that level a couple times, right? So let's see. So if we bounce off that level, I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty good to go. But if we break it, let's take a look at a couple times we broke that moving average. Right here in 2013, we actually broke that moving average right here, came up and retested it as resistance, and then kind of confirmed our bottom. So it's kind of like a support and resistance for the bear market, right? Look at 2017. It's the exact same thing, right? We're above it. We hold it as support, break below it, confirm it as resistance, and then continue down. So if we don't, what we don't want to do is break it on a monthly close, come back up, and then flip it as resistance, right? That's what we don't want to do. So keep that in mind. Now, let's go over some of our RSI, some of our MA extensions, some things along those lines. We look at the monthly RSI here. Just like the weekly RSI, we have taken a major rundown on the monthly RSI, which is really good. You might be saying, Jordan, why is that really good? That means the price action's going down. We're resetting our indicators for another run to the upside, okay? Once again, I'll repeat, we're resetting our indicators for another run to the upside. You can see right here in 2015, okay, when we bottomed out in 2015 after the first 2013 bull run, we bottomed out right at this level right here, right? 43 on the RSI. Where did we bottom out in 2018? Bam, right there on the RSI. In 2020, right? We didn't even come back down to it. We actually bounced above that line. Where are we right now on the monthly RSI? We're at 57. So just like the weekly, we are slowly approaching this level. Now, if we look at where we're at right now, right? So it took us 3 months to get pretty far down here. We only have a little bit more room to run down here, right? I'd probably say another 20% down would probably push us down here, depending on how many months it took, right? But we're pretty close to, in my opinion, based off previous price action. Like I said, right, we're basing this off previous price action. It's not 100% accurate. You can't base the future off the past, but that's all we have to go off of, right? So if this was to go down a couple more months, we should see a bounce at this level again and then continue back up to the upside. We'll see if it does happen, right? But history has shown us that that tends to be the place that we bounce. So is this a good thing for the bears? Could be, right? Could be another 1 to 2 months of downwards action. Is this a good thing for the bulls? Absolutely. Means more accumulation, right? Means lower prices of accumulation, more time to accumulate lower prices. And then we also have our weekly RSI and our monthly RSI reset for another major run to the upside. This is perfect for actually bulls and bears if you actually think about it. Because as we know, right, the bears are actually bulls in disguise, right? Zzzt. We always say it, right? Zzzt. They're bulls zipping up their suits, about the bear suits. They just want the price to go lower so they can accumulate lower. It's perfect for both sides. All right, MA extension on the monthly. Let's take a look at MA extension on the monthly. Historically speaking, whenever we're below our 11-month moving average, right? Whenever we're below it, actually this is the 10-month moving average. Same thing though. Whenever we're below the 10-month moving average tends to be the best time to accumulate Bitcoin. We don't stay below there too long, right? You can see right here was the best time to accumulate Bitcoin in the previous bear market, right? Right here, the best time to accumulate Bitcoin in the previous bear market. Now, it's not perfect, right? Obviously, you could go still a bit lower even if you're below this line, but generally speaking, this was the best time to accumulate Bitcoin. We have just dropped below that moving average, which tends to be, like I said, the best time to accumulate Bitcoin. You always could go lower, always be prepared for the price to go lower, but if this is when you start dollar cost averaging, based off history, this is a good time to start dollar cost averaging, okay? It's proven in the stats here. In the stats, I feel like a fantasy football guy. You know, it's proven in the stats. Dalvin Cook, 5 receptions a game. I don't know where I'm going with here, but you guys get the point, right? Dollar cost average below the 10-month moving average. It's pretty much the same thing as dollar cost averaging Bitcoin when it's below a weekly moving average or a daily moving average, when it's below the 200-day moving average, things of that nature, right? Flipping on over to our next weekly chart. I wanted to do something a little bit different today. And I want to do a poll here. All right, this guy's getting banned. There we go. There we go. Guys, like I said, if you have nothing to say, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. We're all friends, okay? I think people are getting a little salty right now because I'm talking about bullish scenarios and bearish scenarios, right? Just make sure if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. All right? It's about life, right? You have no idea what's going on in someone's life. Don't be mean to people, whether it's me, whether it's people in the chat, okay? Seriously. Anyways, weekly time frame for Bitcoin. I'm about to do a poll right now. All right? So if you look here, I want you to tell me, would you think this chart is bullish or bearish? Whoops. Get out of here, man. Bullish, bearish. All right. I want you guys to tell me, do you guys think this chart is bullish or bearish? All right. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. And would you guys think this chart is bullish or bearish? I want to know. What do you guys think? This is going to be interesting. Guys, come on, don't ruin it. That was the whole point. Don't ruin it in the chat by saying it's inverted. Come on, man. You guys ruin it in the chat, dude. You guys, that was the whole point of the poll, was to poll people to say if this looked bullish or bearish. And you guys saying in the chat saying Isn't it just inverted? Isn't it just inverted? You guys ruined the whole thing, man. Come on. I had more faith in you guys to ruin it like that. Anyways, hold on. I need some more coffee here. This is the weekly. It's the weekly time frame, okay? We're looking, like I said, we're looking at things from a longer term view today. We're not looking at the freaking 5 minute. We're not looking at the freaking hourly. We're not looking at the freaking 1 second. We're looking at weekly and monthly, at least for the first part of the stream today. We'll go over to the short term in a second. Anyways, all right. So I think you guys ruined the poll a little bit, but anyways, 58% people think this looks bearish. 42% people think this looks bullish. I think that's a little skewed there, a little skewed. But keep this in mind, all right? So if you're looking at this chart this is the inverted Bitcoin chart, okay? You guys got it right. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you guys for being so freaking smart, all right? Thank you guys for being freaking smart. If you look at this from the inverted perspective, you got to be honest with yourself. What would you buy this asset or would you sell this asset? And I want you guys to be honestly serious about this, right? Honestly serious about this. Now, there's a couple different ways you can go about this, right? There's a couple different ways you can go about this. In the longer term macro aspect, it's in a complete downtrend, right? This asset is in a complete downtrend. This asset freaking sucks. This looks like the worst asset that's ever existed to mankind. Sounds like the opposite of something familiar that we all know. I wonder what that is. I wonder what that asset is that's the exact opposite of this chart. I have no idea. Anyways, if we look at this and we zoom in a little bit, does this look like a bottom for BTC, right? Did this look like a bottom here for BTC? Now, like I said, we're taking it from the inverse aspect to try to flip our mentality a little bit. Would you buy this asset? I'm gonna say, from my perspective, to be completely honest, right? If I didn't know what was going on as far as fundamentals, and this was just some random chart that we were looking at, I would probably think this is. I would probably not buy this, and the reason why is it's below a lot of different moving averages. It's below a lot of different support and resistances. But the one thing that everyone's talking about right now is the head and shoulders or the inverse head and shoulders right now, right? So if this was a Bitcoin bottom, would you buy this? I think a lot of people would say yes. And that's where you have to kind of flip your thinking sometimes. I think a lot of people would say they would buy this asset at this bottom here, right? Now, the other reason I wouldn't buy this asset right now, even though it looks like it has the potential to break to the upside, aka the downside, the RSI here, right? We're looking at the RSI backwards too. This is the backwards of the RSI. The RSI on the weekly doesn't have that much more room to run up. All right, what has happened when the RSI has topped out for BTC, aka bottomed out? All right, well, we've had tops there, right? We had tops there. Big moves back down to the downside. We don't have that much more room to run here on the weekly RSI. If history was to repeat, that would be the same type of thing we should see, right? Another big move to the downside every single time we top out there on the RSI. Just saying, right? Just saying. Now, I could see both scenarios. I could see people looking at this from both scenarios. Yes, you would buy it because there's a bullish chart at the bottom here, right? A bullish inverse head and shoulders on the weekly time frame. That's usually pretty damn bullish. But you got resistances, right? If you were to look at this from a normal perspective, you would say that 20K right here would be a hard resistance to break, along with your weekly RSI also about to top out. That's kind of where I'm going with this, right? Yes, Bitcoin can break lower, but when you flip it upside down, you start to see the writing on the wall. The bottom at some point, may not be right now, but at some point soon, the bottom is going to happen and we're going to go back up to the upside, right? There's too much support. The oscillators are pointing to a relative bottom at some point soon. And I think that we do flip back up to the upside some point soon. Some point soon. I wouldn't say right away. Okay. Now, I do want to look at something different here. Okay. This is another thing I just kind of looked at today. I mean, there's been other people that have talked about this in the past. I've talked about this in the past on my channel probably over a year ago now. But I used to talk about this too. The returns based on how long it takes to get those returns. I know Ben Cowan is a big guy that's into looking at both this chart and also the next chart we're about to look at. I also said Ben TM because it seems to be whenever I talk about these long-term charts, I get everyone in the chat saying, stop copying Ben, stop copying Ben. So I put Ben TM here because he's the only person that's allowed to look at the weekly time frame chart apparently. So I put Ben TM there just to know that he has the copyright of this. And, some other people, right? I'm using this in fair use. Okay, I'm using this in fair use. Anyways, we look at this here. Every week, medium price, so no care, long term. It's all about long term, man. It's all about long term. Why are bears so toxic? Because they want the price to go lower. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you think about it the same way, bulls are toxic too, right? Think about it. Let's think about this for a second. Let's go back to BTC. BTC retesting the smaller time frame ascending triangle, or symmetrical triangle, you should call it. If you look at it from that perspective, bulls are pretty toxic too, right? I'm pretty toxic sometimes, right? Now, I don't sit here and call bears idiots. I don't sit here and call bears dumb, right? There's a certain way that you can shoot conversation back and forth and not come off as super toxic, right? Now, there are bears that are toxic. There are bulls that are toxic that I see all the time, calling bears idiots, calling bears stupid, right? So it's not just the bears. Let's be honest; it's both sides. I don't really understand why people are so toxic because if you look at the age demographic or people that are into crypto, most people are over the age of 25, and you would think that the age demographic or people that are into crypto is actually lower than the gaming demographic, where most people are under the age of 18. So that's what I have to say about that. I don't know why the crypto sphere is so immature. Probably has to do with the whole money aspect and money being involved in the whole thing, right? So just want to state that bulls and bears can both be toxic. It's not just the bears, okay? Anyways, we look here. So we have increasing gains over time with increasing, right, time over time that it takes for us to reach our peaks. Right? Reach our peaks. You look here. It took us approximately 8 months. It took us 8 months to go 323,000%, right? So let's just put right here 323. All right, so we can kind of keep track and you guys can see it a little bigger here. Lots of kids in crypto. Probably. It's always positives. I'm not talking about the people that are usually in here. I'm talking about a lot of the people on Twitter, a lot of the people on YouTube, in the YouTube comment section. YouTube comment section is brutal. But anyways, you look here, right here. It took us 20. Thanks for cheering me up. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it, my man. I'm giving you guys hopium today. All right. I started off with a lot of bearish stuff, and I know that probably pissed off a lot of people, but the next two charts I have to look at will give the bulls some hopium, okay? So you have to get your hopium hit, right? Get the hit ready. You guys get your hit ready, all right? Get ready, it's coming. Anyways, 323% took us 8 months, okay? Took us 8 months. Put 8 there. Right here, took us 24 months to go about 65,000%, right? So 65,000%. Right here took us. You're welcome, man. All right, this one took 35 months, right? From this is basically from low to high, to go 12,000%. Okay, and then our current run. All right, we won't go over our current run. We'll wait on our current run. So if you can see that, what's the general trend of this? What's the general trend? Well, actually, hold up. I want to do this from days perspective. Hold on. let me, I had a whole point I was going to make here. As you guys can see in the bottom right here. I want to go days. So this took 243 days. This took 731 days. And this took 1,065 days. Okay, so this kind of proves my point a little bit more. Right? So each one of these gains is approximately about 6 times lower than the previous one. Now, it's not exact, right? So I don't want all the math people coming at me saying, Jordan, it's not 6 times. It's 5.75 times. Okay, it's 5.75 times. Because I know there'll be some Karens in here that will do that. Okay, I know it. I know it. But just bear with me. It's not exact, but you guys get the general point, right? This is about 5.2, 5.3 times. Same thing, right? I mean, let's be honest. It's not perfectly exact. So it's usually the previous bull market divided by 6 is the amount of time it takes us to reach that next high, right? So 65 to 12, right? Once again, not exactly perfect. You're looking at, 5.5. So it seems to be more like 5.5 times. But you guys get the general, or 5.5 times, yeah. You guys get the general gist here. So if this was to happen, you'd probably be expected to see about a 2,000% gain if we were looking at this. Well, what did we just do, right? And this is probably going to sound a little bearish here, but keep in mind, what did we just do? Well, from our low to our high, we just went up about 2,000%. You can't make it up. I'm telling you guys, you can't make this stuff up. So it's about 5.5 times, 5.5 times, and about 5.9 times right here. So decreasing returns are a thing. This is pointing to a possible top, a short-term top, right? A short-term top. Let me preface this, a short-term top, right? Because I don't think we've topped out yet. I do not think I topped out yet, and here's exactly why. If we look at the amount of time it takes us to reach our high, it's usually the previous time it's usually the previous time plus, hold on, 243, 300, wait, hold up, 300, 200. I don't know what I was doing there. What the heck was I doing there? Hold on, guys, 1 second. I gotta see what I was doing here. Oh, that's why. I took from this low. So I took from that low. That's why. Okay. So it's about 300. It's about 300 days in between. 300 days in between usually, right? So on average, right? It's not exactly, but it's about 300 days on average, more than the previous time. So you would expect it to be about 1,300, right? 1,365 days from the previous high, okay? Now, where does that put us? Well, that puts us around approximately about September of 2022 as our possible bull market end. That kind of lines up with the whole lengthening cycle theory. Once again, shout out to Ben Cowan. He's been shouting out the lengthening cycle theory. Once again, he's one of the only YouTubers I watch. Him and George, right? Shout out to Ben and George. That's what we're kind of looking at here for the long term. Right now, you guys are probably, the bears are probably screaming, well, we hit 2,000%. We hit 2,000% here. Doesn't that mean that's the end of the bull market? No, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that. It means that we could just be our pullback before we continue up for the rest of the run. And that my next chart is going to kind of segue into that whole theory here. Okay, let's go over into our longer term analysis here on this one, right? So shout out to Ben. This is Ben TM because no one else is allowed to look at this besides Ben, or they get called out for copying, even though everyone else looks at pretty much the same patterns. But, you know, anyways, I'm not going to go there. 2011, right? 2013, 2017, decreasing returns over time. What have we done, right? We've corrected below the 2017 market. Now, if we were to repeat like we usually would, we're probably going to expect some price action like this, right? This blue squiggly line here, okay? This blue squiggly line here pretty much goes sideways here before we continue up later in the year. That's what I'm kind of expecting here. Now, we could go slightly lower to even make this more parabolic towards the end and beginning of next year, right? That could be something that happens too. Maybe we go down and tap 20,000 before continuing up. Maybe we go to the golden pocket, right? At about between 25,000 and 27,000 that we're going to go over in a second, right? That could also be a scenario that we're also looking at here. What's your pullback number? I'll look over that right now, man. Actually, I was actually going to segue into that here. Okay. What's my pullback number? Anyways, we look at our next thing. The next thing I kind of want to look at here is the possible pullbacks for anyone that doesn't watch my stream very regularly, and what I think as the pullback areas. And we're going to use a bunch of different things here, right? So the first scenario is we bounce from our current level. Now, if we look at that from the only theory we really have to bounce at our current level is that we have a bunch of support at this level. 1, 2, we got a bunch of buy pressure when we try to go lower than this level previously. And 3, right, the possible wick off accumulation pattern that could be playing out, right? Those are really the only theories that support us bouncing at this level. Let's be honest, that's what the bulls right now are kind of hoping on, right? And also us being at our 50-week moving average, that's also one that I'm looking at and not a lot of people are looking at as well. That's kind of the scenario of the bounce right now. Now, the scenario of bouncing at 20K, right? Why could we bounce at 20K? Well, that's where our 100-week moving average is. That's where our previous all-time high is, right? So that's another scenario. Now, the scenario that I know some people are talking about, not a lot of people are talking about, is the golden pockets, right? Our 0.618 and our 0.65. If we actually put this up here and we actually zoom in a little bit here, you can see our 0.618 and our 0.65 is sitting right in between. I'm actually going to pull this down here, right in between about 26,000 and approximately about, it's not perfect, guys, so don't get too mad at me here, but you're sitting at between about 27,000 and about 25,000. That's kind of our golden pocket area, right? That tends to be where we bounce normally during pullbacks, right? That tends to be the bounce area. So that's definitely another scenario too that not a lot of people are looking at, right? Maybe we wick into that area and then that's maybe our spring to move us back up. That's another scenario. The other scenario is a lot of people are talking about is the 786 fib, which currently sits at about 16,500. That's also a possible pullback scenario where we could bounce off that area. The final one, worst case scenario, is the $13,500 area where our 200-week moving average is. So those are all the supports you really need to worry about right now as far as looking at more macro supports. That's really all you need to worry about is those areas that I just kind of named off of. But my voice is going absolutely nuts. Wow. I'm going absolutely nuts today on the longer term time frames. I'm super passionate about the long-term charts, guys. I know you guys don't see me really go over the long-term charts too much on stream here. I know the Patreons that watch the weekly newsletter hear me talk about the long-term charts for like 45 minutes straight. And I get super passionate about the long-term charts because that's what I actually like looking at. And yeah, I mean, I could talk about this stuff forever. It really is what I'm passionate about. So that's kind of it all I had today. At the end of the day, we're correcting below 2017, and I expect us to continue up after probably some sideways to maybe slightly more down price action. At the end of the day, it's good for the bears to accumulate lower. It's good for the bulls to accumulate lower. At the end of the day, I do expect us to reach new all-time highs by the end of this year and continue up towards the beginning and the middle of next year. That's kind of my scenario I'm looking at here. But don't be surprised if we do go down a little bit lower, right? 28,000, 25,000, even 20,000 is certainly in the cards. But I don't see us going below 20,000. That's my personal opinion. If we do, you guys can come here, slap me in the face. Yes, I just slapped myself in the face. And tell me that I'm wrong, okay? Because I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm not the type of guy who has a big ego and cares that I'm wrong and all this stuff. At the end of the day, I always say if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just one person who sits up there with his crystal ball and tries to do the best I can to look at the charts for you guys, okay? So that is that. Let's look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. No, I don't want any t-shirts. 25% off, though. You guys like True Classic? I love me some True Classic tees. If you guys actually ever want some True Classic tees, I swear, they know me. Because I actually bought some True Classic tees, not recently, but a while ago. I swear, they're watching me. But anyways, yeah, True Classic tees, shout out to them. I actually really like True Classic tees. Fear and Greed Index sitting at a 20. Actually, a lot higher than I would expect. I actually expect us to be a little bit lower considering we're at the same levels where we were at when we were at a 10 on the Fear and Greed. But nonetheless, still higher than I expected there. We got 10 minutes until our close. Where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin's chilling right at that resistance. We'll go back over to the short-term Bitcoin in a second. We're going to go over some of our more macro things first. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance. Don't make us party bus to Florida, Chris. Oh, man. Bullish on t-shirts. I am bullish on t-shirts. They're watching me, man. Suns versus Clippers, who I got tonight? Probably the Suns. Probably the Suns, even though the Clippers are at home, so that they could definitely win it, in my opinion, man. Now we all know what to get Jordan for Christmas. You guys are too funny. You guys are too funny. Anyways, market cap dominance. We're going sideways on this. I'm not going to waste too much of your time on this. For you guys who are new, I expect this to continue up here, at least to 50% here in the short term. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because we're just going sideways. Bitcoin shorts looking like they're dropping here. It's about time they drop. I mean, this is looking like it's looking a little bouncy here. It looks like we could get a short-term bounce to the upside. So it's probably why you're seeing some of these shorts bounce off here. So not going to spend too much time on that. Total market cap bouncing with Bitcoin. Looks like we actually bounced right off this 1.2 trillion level that I had here today, which is nice to see. Looks like we actually made higher lows there, at least on the wicks. So it's good to see, at least in the short term. Over the long term, though, this still is looking bearish with lower lows and lower highs at the end of the day, right? We got to be realistic here. But we'll see what continues to happen with the total market cap. I could see the total market cap now looking at this. If you look at this from more of a perspective of the wicks, and you actually draw this down, maybe you could be in some sort of, falling channel. Even if you don't connect the wicks, it looks like this could be some type of falling channel on the total market cap. So definitely keep an eye on this. This looks pretty legit here if you just cut off the big capitulation wicks that we had. But this looks like something that could play out, right? We'll continue to watch this. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. I guess not really cool because it's lower lows and lower highs, right? DXY, what is that doing today? Well, pretty much going sideways too. Pretty much going sideways. I actually drew this new trend line because maybe this is the trend line that we should have been looking at the whole time. But we'll continue to watch this. I mean, this could be the trend line we were supposed to be watching, but we'll see if we continue down here on the DXY. That would obviously be bullish for Bitcoin. Ethereum. We know we broke below our 200-day moving average for ETH, which we didn't want to do, right? We held it as support here very slightly, got a bounce off of it, and then came back down below it. So that if we can't get back over that, that could be holding us down here in the short term. So we could see if we can get back over that 200-day moving average, which is sitting at about 1904. We're about $100 below that right now. So we got some stuff to work on there. You fix. There we go. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh, freaking yeah. Freaking yeah. Anyways, Cardano. What do we look at Cardano? Still at that 20-day moving average just continues to hold us down here. But really the only thing I'm looking at Cardano is you're going to get squeezed between the 20-day moving average and that $1 level. And that $1 level, the whales do not want Cardano to go down $1. It just keeps getting bought up anytime it gets even close to $1. So what does it do, right? This is going to continue down over the days. We're going to get stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do we break back over it or do we come back down? That's what we'll have to watch out for Cardano, but we still got a couple more, possibly a couple more weeks until we figure out what's going to happen there with Daddy Cardano, right? Boots Gaming should be a mod, just saying. Deal. Just because you asked, Waterfly. Just because you asked, Waterfly. Boots Gaming, you're now a mod. Congratulations. Welcome to the gang. Anyways, let's go over CoinMarketCap real quick, and then we'll check Bitcoin. I know we've already been live for an hour. I was rambling on about the weekly time frame today for BTC. Absolutely rambling today. What are you guys' thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts on the weekly time? What are you guys' thoughts about the longer term time frame on Bitcoin? Do you think my some of my stuff made sense? Do you think you disagree with some of what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, like a lot of it just kind of went over how I believe that we could go slightly lower for Bitcoin, but the bottom is close. The bottom is close, if not more sideways action for the next couple months, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't expect any major move to the upside right this second. That's kind of my my TLDR. TLDR. Congrats. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fan, Boots. But yeah, kind of a different stream today. So if you guys are just joining the stream today, we usually spend more time on the shorter term time frame stuff. But guys, like, let's be honest, the shorter term time frame is just freaking boring right now. So there's only so much you can go over with it. And instead of me repeating the same thing over and over and over again, sometimes I like to switch it up. So that's what today was. Bitcoin, pretty much flat today. Whole market pretty much flat today. That's why today was pretty boring.
For the shout out, Jordan. 10 shibs for you, my good man.
10 shibs. That could, hey, $5 can actually get me more than 10 shibs. But True Classic Tees, thank you, man. Everyone keeps making accounts that I like, right? We got someone who got Speedway. Where's my boy Speedway in here? We got Speedway. We got True Classic Tees. I could buy way more than 10 shibs for $5 though. I can buy like what? 10 million shibs? 10 billion shibs? CeeLo up 41% today. What the heck is going on with CeeLo? I have no idea, honestly. Someone would probably know better than me. I would, but that's absolutely insane. Shiba up 4% today. I saw something about Mama. There's a Mama Doge now. So we got the whole fam. We got Baby Doge. We got Mama Doge. We got Papa Doge. Every one of those things. But some coins that are up today, which is good to see. Not a lot of huge gainers, but nonetheless, we're doing pretty good there. Nexo, 14%. Quant down 12%. Celsius down 10%. Helium down 5%. ICP continued to... I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you ICP guys, but I don't think I've ever had a day where I pull this up and ICP isn't at least in the top 10 for biggest losers. It just continues down. Now at $29. Man, that's brutal. That's brutal. But yeah, I mean, a lot of small losers today, but nothing crazy today for the most part. Bitcoin looks like it's pumping. Look at that. Bitcoin about to break out of this symmetrical triangle as we speak. Like I said, measure move out of this is approximately about, let's check, from top to bottom of that triangle, and we extrapolate that up. Measure move would be approximately about 33,450, right? Obviously, we're going to have some pretty big resistance right here at about 32,510. Expect some resistance there. But should be a decent breakout here. Let's see what's kind of going on here. See what's going on. Strengthening the close. Yeah, it's good that we're getting strengthening the close. Could be a good thing, right? Could also people buying before the close before the inevitable dump on the next daily. But we will see. We will see. Let's keep an open mind here. Let's keep an open mind. All right, let me go through some of these super chats here while we wait for Bitcoin to open its new close. Thank you again, True Classic Tees, for the $5. MT said, with all that in mind, where do you think the top is for BTC in this bull market? Based on logarithmic regression, it would put Bitcoin somewhere around, it depends on where we top out, right? The longer we take the top out, the higher we're going to go. So any long-term prediction, any top prediction is always going to be wrong. Like I always say, you're either going to undershoot it or you're going to overshoot it, right? You could do either thing. So always keep that in mind. Bitcoin getting a nice pump here. Expect some resistance to come shortly as we actually got a bunch of resistance looking left here. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, I could see anywhere between 100. I could see anywhere between 100K Bitcoin and a 250K Bitcoin. I think anything over 250K is a little bit high, just based off market cap. Even in the 200s is slightly high, but I think I could see it with FOMO getting to 250K. Depending on some of the more bullish news that come out, if we can get more countries adopting Bitcoin, maybe some bigger countries adopting Bitcoin, we could see some crazy stuff happen. But we'll find out, right? Ryan said 199 super chat. Jordan is hoping we haven't reached the top yet. Otherwise, tattoo. Yeah. I mean, the tattoo. I got 6 months until the possible tattoo. Still pretty confident, right? Bitcoin just has to get back above 65K. I don't think that's too much of a stretch. At least in the next 6 months, right? I think probably the next 1 or 2, 3 months, probably a stretch. But by the end of the year, I don't see that being much of a stretch. Just stretching my neck out, guys. Like I told you guys, I freaking hurt my shoulder / upper back at the freaking gym. So I've been rehabbing that for the past like 2 weeks or so. So sometimes my neck gets tight. So you guys might see me like holding my shoulder like this or something. That's why. That's why I've been doing the foam rolling and stuff. Crypto Juice said, "Hey man, I am Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire. Nice, dude. Nice, dude." I don't know what that means, but actually I do know what that means. I know Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man. Oh, you said say, "Hey man, I'm Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire." Hey man, I'm Spider, Tobey Maguire. Is that the graph for ICP? I wouldn't buy ICP either. I assume you're probably talking about this. This looks like the graph of ICP, doesn't it? This actually looks a lot like ICP, except ICP was like this in the beginning. It was like this, and then the rest of it kind of looks like ICP. This is, but that's so true, man. That's so true. Dude, you're such a foam roller. I am, man. Weekly RSIs, I'm at 2018 and COVID bottoms. Yes, that is very true. That is very true. Britt said, "Jordan, dude, since this morning I have been reading about Nervos. What's your take about Nervos coin?" We'll check it out. Thank you, Britt. All right, we got our new daily open here. So Bitcoin got a nice pump into the open. Let's go check the 4 hour. 4 hour doesn't look too bad. Looks like we're back over our green box of glory. Let's see. Where's my daily? I don't have a daily chart today. Look at that. That's slightly depressing. Let's go to the daily chart over here. Daily looks okay, right? I guess at least it was a green daily, but not the best daily, not the most girthy daily going on there. Just looks like a typical at support daily chart, right? This is kind of the line in the, not the line in the sand, but seems to be where we're kind of getting our bounces right there. Now the candle closes look like they're getting lower and lower. Now we'll see if this ends up being the spring, right? We want this to be the new spring that springs us to the upside, just like we see here, right? We want this to now be the bounce, the higher low that can hopefully push us up.
I am so freaking excited for the next few months and years, Jordan. Going to be awesome. Waterfly for mod, please.
Waterfly from mod? All right, where is he? It's happening. Everyone wants everyone to be a mod. So everyone in the chat's gonna be a mod. How about that? Imagine just everyone in the chat being a mod. I think everyone would just ban each other. Where's Waterfly? Waterfly, put your name in the chat, man. Put your name in the chat. Waterfly's my boy. Waterfly's my bearish friend. My bearish friend. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the next few months and years as well, Jimmy. It's going to be a good one, right? We just have to be patient right now. I mean, right now it's kind of like, it's kind of those tough times where you're uncertain. You're uncertain about the future. You're uncertain about the short-term price action, right? It makes you feel a little bit uneasy. It makes you a little bored, right? It makes you a little bored in times like this. But, I always say, like, anytime that we're this low on both the RSI and below our basic, below our important moving averages is always the best time to buy BTC. And right now is one of those times technically. So it's not saying we can't go lower, right? But technically it's the best time to dollar cost average based off history. Where's I don't see my boy in here. So next time I see him, I'll put him in there. I'll put him in there. Stocks are closed on the weekends. Yes, stocks are closed on the weekends. Stocks are closed on the weekends. All right, Bitcoin. We'll see if this is just a back test for BTC. I won't be surprised if we get a red candle here to come back down and back test this and hopefully continue up. Now, if you come back down into it, it might not be the end of the world. What we could be forming here, though, it's definitely a possibility of us forming a possible inverse head and shoulders, where this is the left shoulder, this is the head, right? And if we actually come back down, possibly even into here, round out again, we could have the right shoulder too. Now, these head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, have been slightly unpredictable lately. They haven't really been working perfectly, but I could definitely see something like that happening here. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. That would give us a pretty good upside target there. AMP is the bank in crypto land, for sure, man. For sure. Oh, someone asked me about. What did someone ask me about? Someone asked me about. What was it? Nervos Network. Nervos Network. Rank 115. Nervos Network describes itself as an open source public blockchain ecosystem and collection of protocols. Is the layer 1 proof of work blockchain of the Nervos Network. Any crypto asset to be stored with security, immutability, commissionless nature of Bitcoin while enabling smart contracts, layer 2 scaling. Okay. What I always say about those type of coins is there another coin that does the same thing that has a higher market cap? Because I personally, when I'm investing in coins, I like things that are very unique or are the top coin in that certain niche, right? So I couldn't tell you if there's another coin that does the exact same thing as that. I mean, that listed off a couple different things there. But that's what I usually ask myself if I'm investing in a coin, right? But I'm also pretty stuck in my ways when it comes to my top coins. I believe in the coins that I do own. I do research on those coins, and that pretty much stick to that. But yeah, I mean, as far as the chart goes, I mean, I assume it's probably, let me go to Bitcoin. As far as the chart goes, I'm sure it's probably just chilling like the other altcoins. Yeah, I mean, the other altcoins right now, guys, what I will tell you is make sure if you're investing in altcoins, you're investing in altcoins that you believe will be around going into the future, right? Because like we saw, like if for any chance we are in an extended bear market, right? Which even if we are in an extended bear market, I expect us to at least not drop lower than 20K. Make sure you're investing in altcoins that you know will be around. Because like we said, for instance, in 2017, there was a million different altcoins, and most of those altcoins aren't around today. So that's why I always recommend when you can make a ton of money on these smaller altcoins when the prices are really skyrocketing, right? But when the prices are going down, be careful about investing in some of these smaller projects, because when the prices are going down, a lot of those altcoins are either going to go down 90, 98, 99%, or they're going to be gone, right? So that's why I recommend focusing most of your money, at least on downtrends, big downtrends like we've seen lately, into higher cap altcoins. That's just my opinion. If you believe in an altcoin and you believe it has a future, don't be afraid to invest in it, right? Higher risk equals higher reward at the end of the day. That's just my philosophy, though. Let's see. Is VeChain a small project? No. Lost for words, so thank you, Mr. Obvious. Nice, man. They'll be gone forever with your cash. Exactly. I say just be careful with which coins you you buy, right? Bitcoin and stocks is this way. Pretty much. All right, Bitcoin starting to try to bounce back up to the upside here. George for VeChain. Yeah, George loves VeChain. I love VeChain too. I love VeChain too. You guys know the coins I love, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Cardano, VeChain, and Theta. Those are my top 6. Those are my top 6. Those are actually a lot of people that have been in the space for a long time's top 6. Those have been my top 6 since forever, right? Since at least January. Before VeChain and Theta really started taking off, there was other coins in my top 6. But yeah, I mean, I believe in those coins long term. I believe in Theta long term. Theta's more of a because I like the project, right? I like the project, and I like what it's doing. Lost for Words to the super chat, bro. You know I love your content. Thanks, Lost for Words, man. Thanks, Lost for Words. You sounded kind of hostile there, so that's why I called you out, man. But like I said, bulls and bears, we're all friends. We're all friends at the end of the day, right? We're all friends. I don't even think I have anyone that's that hostile on here anymore, right? I think everyone that watches the stream now is pretty cool. Pretty cool now. And if you are trolling, it's usually because you're kidding. Just like I troll the chat. I troll you guys all the time. It's pumping hard. Yeah, it's pumping pretty well. It's pumping pretty well. Like we're gonna have some resistance here at 32,500. Just be prepared for it. Don't expect like some big green dildo to 34,400 instantly. But I think if we do break this, you'll see a pretty big run up to 34,400 pretty quick. Pretty quick. Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, Matic, Sol. Yeah, you can add Binance Coin in there. Obviously in hindsight, I would have invested more in Binance Coin. But to me right now, I do think it'll keep its market cap, but I think the big gains as far as Binance Coin, I think are past its days, where I think at the same point, I think Bitcoin has a lot of still upside potential, and Ethereum also still has a lot of upside potential, right? So what about Solana?
Thanks, man. You said there are coins doing some of the same things as Nervous, but with a bigger market cap. Can you mention one or two so I can research them?
Oh, Britt. I said, I don't know if there's any coins that do the same thing as Nervos with a bigger market cap, right? So that's why I said I invest in coins where they're either the top dog in what their niche is. So make sure, a coin's the top dog in the niche. If not, you really got to believe in that project for it to overtake that coin. I don't know if there's anything that does the same thing as Nervos. Just reading the description, I mean, it named off like 3-4 things that Nervos did. So that's why I recommend doing the research. I could look at CoinMarketCap, look at other things, but like I said, I'm more, like I've always said, I'm more of a charts guy. I'm not as big as a fundamental. I'm not as big as a. I believe in fundamentals. I believe in all that stuff, but I think a lot of the price action we see for these coins are because of news, and because of FOMO, right? And what causes FOMO? Green candles, right? Green candles cause FOMO. So, as far as the coins that I'm interested in, I'll do research on the coins that I'm interested in. But if I'm not interested in a coin, I'm usually not going to do that much research into those type of coins, right? But Neil said, 1 year we will laugh and wish we could do this low. AMP, please. Yeah, we can look at AMP. You can look at AMP. AMP. FOMO. We need some more FOMO, guys. Hey, everyone in the chat, can you guys FOMO? Give me some FOMO. Anyways, AMP we looked at a bunch of times. It looks like a longer term rising wedge. But like I said, I mean, it's gonna follow BTC, even though AMP has been kind of doing its own thing, right? AMP has been kind of doing its own thing. So it's coming back down to retest that support again. If we retest that support, based off history, I mean, we should bounce off that support. We might ride it for a little bit, like we did right here. We might ride it for a little bit, but based off history, we should find support there. A daily RSI is getting to the lower point there, so we could get it bounced relatively soon too. What we really want to do is, same thing as kind of we saw with Cardano, right? The 20-day moving average is going to slowly move down here. We're going to get stuck between a rock and a hard place. Will we break back above that, or will we break down below? Now, so that's really what we're watching here at the moment, right? For AMP. All right, Bitcoin trying to break that resistance right now. Can we get bullish here on a Saturday and trick everyone? Everyone thinking this is going to be a bloody weekend. Can Bitcoin trick everyone and make this into a giant green dildo? Not even a big green dildo. We're not talking BGD. Can we make this a GG? Hold on. Big. A GGD weekend. Okay? I think we can. I think we can. Because I think everyone and their mother are expecting this to be a terrible weekend. Which it could still happen. Can still happen, let's be honest. But let's see. Let's see what happens. When will ETH get to at least 2,500? Speedway time. ETH will reach 2,500. Well, look where ETH is right now. I mean, it's at 1,800 right now. I think ETH, I mean, based on where it is right now, I mean, that's what? Just some simple math. And it's going to follow BTC, right? So to get to 2,500, it's going to take about 36% move to the upside. That will probably result in, we know that the Bitcoin dominance, I do expect that to move up. So for Ethereum to do a 36% move to the upside, you probably expect Bitcoin to do at least a 36% move to the upside, which would put Bitcoin, you know, just in theory, right?
$2,500.
Would put Bitcoin upwards of like 44,000. So I think when you see Bitcoin starting to get to those early to mid 40,000s, I think that's when you can see ETH at 40,000. Or sorry, at 2,500, right? It is what it is. Wow, we have someone with "it is what it is" username now. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Matt, for the kind words, saying the long-term analysis was awesome today. Thank you, man. That is definitely kind words. Kind words, man. Like I said, that's what I like looking at. That's what I enjoy looking at, and I think today was a good day for it because there really wasn't much going on. The short-term time frames, I could have just rambled on about, you know, the same stuff that everyone else does. But, you know, some days I like to switch it up. Some days I like to switch it up. For my own sanity, right? I hate repeating myself, so sometimes it's for my own sanity, and most of the times it's for you guys too, because you guys probably don't like hearing the same exact thing over and over and over again, right? One year, Neil said, 1 year and we will laugh, and I wish we could buy this low. Yes, when 1 year we will laugh, in my opinion as well. 1 year we will laugh. Ship army here. Strap up, we're going to the moon. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I'm staking VeChain, but I don't see VThor in my Binance wallet. Interesting. The dollar is a scam Ponzi. Yeah, I mean, the dollar is a scam Ponzi. That's why I think it's going to go down. I mean, I don't understand why it's getting a rise, or I don't understand why it got a. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it only went up about 3%, but that 3% is pretty big for the dollar, right? So I don't understand why it got a pump here. It's been very volatile the last couple months, but yeah, I could expect this to continue down. Like A lot of people are freaking out about this. But when you look at this, like, I mean, you're still in a general downtrend. You're still making lower highs overall, which is good for BTC and stocks, right? So you made a higher low here, which you don't want to see either. But, you know, in general, I still think this is a pretty bearish structure here until we can make a higher high. If we can make a higher high, that kind of negates that point, right? Bank of Canada, I got you, man.
Basically,
There you go, dude.
Bitcoin is clearly a scam. Cryptocurrency is clearly an idiot with no common sense. And scientifically speaking, according to a study at the Bank of Canada, more people who are financially illiterate invest in Bitcoin.
Oh, guys, if you guys want to check, if you guys want to check out the second channel, I did put it in the description. You guys can go check that out. It's in the description. First couple videos are just about, you know, some stuff that I saw on Reddit. So when I sit in bed at night, I like to kind of sit on Reddit, right? I like to sit on Reddit. And something I like to look at is the Reddit relationships subreddit. And I like looking at that and looking at some of the terrible relationships people are in. So I made a couple of videos on my thoughts on a couple of those posts. Just kind of some goofy thoughts on some of those, because some of those stories are absolutely so hilarious to look at. And I thought I'd look at it. So it's what I do in my spare time. And let me know what you guys think about some of my thoughts on some of those stories. But some of those stories are absolutely wild. I don't know why people put up with some of the stuff they do. But absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Some people put up with some crazy stuff in their relationships, man. I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they do it. King Abs said, "Who's this guy?" I am Chris. I'm Chris. Thank you for joining the stream, Chris Abs. And you know, if like I said, if you don't enjoy my content, you know, there's always 100 different people out there. Dude. She is our queen. Some divorces happened over after some posts. Exactly. Yeah, so it's not going to be limited to that stuff, but I'm going to be trying a different couple topics and ideas and see what kind of sticks over there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Do you sit or lay on your bed? Most of the time I'm actually laying. I actually don't really sit. I don't really sit. Actually, I never sit when I think about it. I'm always standing. As you guys can see, I'm standing right now, or I'm always laying. So it's one of those two. I don't think I ever sit. Sitting is actually bad for you. Sitting is actually the worst position you can be in. Ben in his last chance before Ethereum videos are back. I don't know what that means. Can you say something about the short ratio and volume happening right now? Short ratio. Yeah, I can do that in a little bit, man. See if Bitcoin breaks that resistance, though. Rover's good? Yeah, Rover's good. Rover's good. If we break this resistance, if we break 32,510, kind of a random number, but if we break that level, I will break out the helmet, I should say. I will 100% break out the helmet. You best believe, as Fashad would say. Best believe. All right. Bitcoin's trying to make a move right now. Let's see if breaks that resistance. Anyways, all the YouTubers hiding today. Hey, I don't hide. I did hide this morning. The only reason I didn't stream this morning is, like I said, there was nothing to really talk about. So I could have hopped on and streamed for a little bit, but I mean, was there really anything to talk about? Not really. Not really. Do you sell the strap up audio clip anywhere? I don't sell it, man, but I can let you have it. I know a bunch of people ask me about my audio clips, and I always forget to send them to people. Like, as I'm awful with responding to messages. It's not just you guys. It's literally with my friends, my family. I'm just really bad at responding. So just if you don't get in contact with me, just annoy me, right? Message me 5 times you have to. But seriously, if you guys want any of those audio clips, I can send them to you. I mean, I have them right on my computer, so I can easily just send it to you somewhere. Strap up, we're going to the moon. All right. I mean, we did break it, guys, but let's see if we can hold it for longer than 2 seconds. Okay? See if we can hold it for longer than 2 seconds. If we hold it for another minute, I'll throw the helmet on, okay? Hold it for another minute. It's okay. When you're not on, I watch Target hit, mainly just read all the comments. Yeah. Pretty much. Strap up, we're going to the moon. I'll play strap up, we're going to the moon. I mean, might as well, right? We don't get to do it that often.
Strap up, we're going to the moon.
All right. Whoa. Why is that so big? There we go. Make that fit. What about this? Yeah, let's do this today. Let's do this. I'm feeling the McDubs hat on top of the helmet. There we go. But yeah, I mean, this kind of brings me back to my my drive-through days. Let's do the McDubs hat. All right, so yeah, I mean, we broke that resistance. We broke that resistance. But I think you're going to get a good size move here to the upside. I mean, we have some resistance here too. I mean, you look across. I mean, you just have so much price action in this general range. See this general range? You just have so much support and resistance here that it could take you a little while to really, really break through here, just because you have so much price action right here. But you know, once you get over this cluster, I think it's pretty straight shot at 34,400. Right. Helmet ready? Taking drive-through orders? Yes. What would you like, man? Would you like a large fry? We're actually, like I said yesterday, we're out of large fries. We're out of burgers. We're out of chicken tenders. We're out of McNuggets, and we're also out of shakes. The only thing we have is apple pies. Don't do that. So take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. BTC is forming head and shoulders on the weekly. Yes, we've been looking at that. We've been looking at that forever, right? Head and shoulders on the weekly. I mean, that's another thing that's been talked about to death. So just because I don't bring it up every day doesn't mean that I see it. I don't see it, right? I mean, I get the whole sentiment of the head and shoulders on the daily. It's just another thing that's been talking to death. So I don't want to repeat the same thing every single day. But that's still there. That's still there. If we break this green box of support, that could definitely play out. That's definitely still there, though. For sure. 1 billion SHIB, please on the go. You got it. You got it. 1 billion SHIB. The apple pies are vegan. I actually like the apple pies. Actually, I think they're really good over there, personally. You know? Guys, we could smack up those likes. We're at approximately 440 likes with 1,500 people in here. We can smack up those likes. That would definitely help out, and I definitely would appreciate that. Not like I don't appreciate you guys already. I already do. But that would be pretty cool here while we wait for Bitcoin to break this resistance here. I mean, we could look at some alts. Is it really worth looking at alts right now? I mean, we could look at CeeLo. I know probably a lot of people probably have questions about CeeLo as it's going absolutely nuts. Like, should you buy into CeeLo right now? Probably not. Let's take a look at our fib here. Actually, let's take our high to our low. Yeah, so you hit your 0.5 at the moment. So you hit your 0.5 fib, and you're probably going to cool down a little bit there. Daily RSI, you do have a little bit more room to run up here. You definitely do, but looks like it's pulling back as well. So, I mean, in general, you're not at a big resistance or anything. In general, I mean, I guess kind of you're at a big resistance where you wicked up to, right about there. I mean, previous resistance all up there. 0.5 fib, that's where you settled up. But, I mean, I probably wouldn't FOMO into CeeLo right now. Right now. I like saying now like a cat. Right now. Right now. But, yeah. All right, Bitcoin trying to test 32,600. Slowly making its way up here. Slowly. Token metrics predicted CeeLo. Good for him, man. Good for him. Or good for token metrics, I should say. What do you think about IOTA and its chart?
What do you think about IOTA and its chart?
IOTA. Check out IOTA. I'll wait for BTC. It looks like every other alt, right? Looks like every other alt. First thing I noticed on this guy is it looks like a classic support into resistance flip, which is the opposite of what you want, right? Previous support, now flipped into new resistance. So that is bearish, right? We know that's bearish. Now, if you look at our daily RSI, I mean, you don't have any bullish divergence. You still have room to run down further if you wanted to. And you also look at your support levels. I mean, you look at your daily support. I mean, you had a big run up here with not really any place to really stop. I mean, the only support you really have, it looks like, is right there at 6.61 cents where you wicked to. You also had a slight previous high there, which is barely anything. If you break that, I mean, easily could come back down to 51 cents, bearing Bitcoin drops. Now, if Bitcoin continues up, you really just want to get back over 68 cents. And you want to get back over this 20-day moving average, which has been your resistance since really up here, right? Once, twice, 3 times. You need to get back over that. So that's your support and resistances next. We'll see if you can get flip this into more of a bullish structure. If you can get back above this 86 cent mark, confirm it as support, I think you'll be good to go, though.
Please check out CELR, my dude love in both helmets.
Please check out Seller, my dude. Loving both helmets. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I mean, I'm wearing this is my drive-through. I wear this during the drive-through. And this is how I promote BTC in my spare time, right? I usually take the hat off during work, but you can see the BTC logo there. People always ask me about it. I say buy BTC. That's how I do my part on spreading BTC. But check out Seller. Yeah, I can check out Seller, Cal. Oh, show.
Look at Kava, please. Not dumping as much as
Seller. What's Seller looking like? It doesn't look as bad as the one we just looked at. I mean, you're at least trying to hold. I mean, you at least have some support and resistance somewhat, right? It looks like, I mean, your previous resistance is still your support, right? You're still holding that as support. So you haven't quite flipped that as resistance yet. You look at your RSI, no bullish divergence, no bearish divergence. You still have room to run down if you want to. But like we just looked at, I mean, what's going to happen here with a lot of these alts is these moving averages are going to move down while they're at these important supports, and it's going to have to make a decision. Does it want to get back over this or below it? It's going to have to make a decision somewhat soon here. So probably over the course of the next week or two. If Bitcoin dips, right? Bitcoin dips here, it gets rejected and continues down. You probably see Seller dip down below this. Now, as far as next supports go, I mean, you just look down. I mean, the next major support that I'm seeing is probably about 1.5 cents there, which is a significant downturn. But we'll wait and see, right? On the weekly, he's still got room to run down the RSI as well. So longer term time frames still showing possible more downside action. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, A lot of these alts making the same type of patterns. And at the end of the day, it looks just like, you know, a bigger falling channel for the most part. It's not perfect, but I mean, pretty much just going oscillating up and down in this channel, right? So we'll see. Bitcoin having some trouble here, having some trouble with this resistance at the moment. Kava. Man. So Kava, wow. That was actually a beautiful head and shoulders there. It actually played out pretty perfectly there. And then you had another one right here that actually played out pretty nicely. So Kava likes the head and shoulders patterns. I'll give you that. I'll give it that. Now, you just look at Kava from the daily perspective. You had a classic head and shoulders pattern right there. Right here, actually. Let me fix that. Right there. You can see you had a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Classically played out. Came back up, tested your old support as new resistance. Right? And you'll flip it as new resistance. So you got to get back over that support. You got to get back over that previous support. That's the deal here. You keep confirming that as support. You could continue down for Kava here, right? Now, if you're looking at your next supports, if you were to continue down, it's obviously dependent on BTC. Probably have some good support there at about 258, right? Previous resistance, bunch of support in that general area. So that's your support looking down, but yeah, you gotta get back over that line. You gotta get back over that line. Fear and Greed 22. Fear and Greed. Let's refresh this, shall we? 22. Wow, it actually went up today. I was expecting it to go down with all the bears, you know, all the bears out here. I just went out of the helmet. I just lost my breath for a second, guys. Sorry. I almost just passed out because I was out of my helmet for like 2 seconds. Wick off Bitcoin. Hold on, I'm reading the chat here, guys. Reading the chat as always. The chat. All right, Bitcoin chilling. Like I said, guys, you guys want to check out the second channel for any guys that are joining now. Links down in the description for the second channel. Like I said, I'm going to try a bunch of different topics, see what sticks over there, see what people enjoy the best. For these first couple ones, I did a random reaction video. I thought that one was kind of dumb, but I thought it was kind of funny, so I put it up anyway. And then 2 Reddit relationships, where I kind of give my comments about people's stupid stories on Reddit relationships. So if you guys want to check those out, go right ahead. Links in the description for the second channel. Because like I said, I'm a workaholic. I love making videos. I love making content. So the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Fake out coming. I could see the fake out. So what I'm kind of looking at here is if Bitcoin does get rejected at this area, like I said earlier, and you just come back down and test this area again, you got a classic, like I said, inverse head and shoulders if we end up doing that. But it's going to take us to come back down to 31,000 and retest. Now, what we could be looking at, let's look at our short-term fibs. Let's take our top to our bottom here. Let's see if we're hitting some type of resistance. Not at the moment. We're not. Our golden ratio, our golden pocket's actually sitting up here at like 33,000, which actually makes some sense. I think our measured move, right, of our symmetrical triangle was right at that level. Let's see if that actually makes sense here. Our measured move was, yeah, so look exactly where our measured move goes, guys. Our measured move goes exactly to the 0.618 fib. You cannot make that crap up. So, I mean, if this does play out, I mean, that would make sense for a move and a possible rejection at that point. But we'll, obviously, time will have to tell us if that does play out, right? Look at our longer term. pullback percentage. See if we're at a resistance. No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. Test is inevitable. Buy the dip or cry later. Strong retest at 150, 155 on my charts. Not trying to be bearish, but based on volume, how can we ever get back to all-time high levels? Volume been so dead lately. No new money. Well, I mean, you could look at the volume from that perspective, right? You could also look at the volume from this perspective, right? So the volume is dead right now. But if you look at, you know, really the run up for Bitcoin, I mean, you compare the volume to our run up for the real start of the run up, right? From 10,000 all the way as high as 20,000 in this range. I mean, the volume that we got really wasn't high, right? It was actually pretty damn low in this general range. Now that we had spikes here and there, but I mean, compared to the volume now, I mean, it's not that much lower, right? I mean, it's generally in the same spot. So, I mean, the volume being low, I think the volume being low is kind of overrated in my opinion, because you can still pump with low volume. All you just need is, you can pump with low volume, you just need more buyers and sellers. Unfortunately, right now we're getting more sellers than buyers, which obviously makes the price go down. I mean, duh. But you can still go up with low volume. I mean, we've seen it in the past. We've seen it in the past. Now, obviously, we want higher volume at the end of the day, right? That's obviously a good thing. We want more buy volume coming in, but you don't necessarily need it. You don't necessarily need it. You want it, though. Because the lower the volume, unfortunately, the lower the volume, the more easy it is for these whales to manipulate the market, right? So, yeah, I guess in a sense you do want higher volume, because if the volume is super freaking low, these whales are just going to move the price down as much as they want in order to accumulate more. They're going to keep the price in this range to accumulate more, or they're going to push it lower, right? So I guess you do want more volume in a sense, but we'll find out, right? We'll find out. It's also the weekend too, so realize it's Saturday. Like, we're not going to get a ton of volume on Saturdays. I think YouTube should adopt a Zoom approach so we could see each other in the stream. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Bitcoin pulling back a little bit here. Pulling back. I mean, it's to be expected. I mean, we hit a pretty big resistance. You probably usually don't break these big resistances in the first try, right? So each one of these lines you see here, you're not going to break these in the first try. You're usually going to hit them a couple times before moving on to the next one. If you do break it in the first try, I mean, you're super bullish. Yeah, we also we used to do voice chats in the Discord a lot, right? Obviously, that was usually when the price was going up like crazy and there was so much to look at. I mean, there were so many altcoins to look at. We used to hang out in the Discord a lot on voice chat, but we don't do that anymore. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the markets are a little boring right now, so there's only so much to look at. But when the prices are really skyrocketing, we used to hang out in the Discord all the time, and you could do that. Do you see the similarity of the market to 2017? I don't. It's very, very different in tons of different ways. I mean, we can go over that too. If you look at Ben TM, every time I look at the long-term charts, I'm going to put Ben TM, because there's always one dude that comes in here and goes, "What? You're just copying Ben's charts." It's a long-term chart, man. There's only so much stuff you can look at with the long-term charts. So every time I look at the longer-term charts, I'm going to put Ben TM here, just so I'm giving Ben credit, and I'm not copywriting, okay? I'm just looking at the data, just like Ben says, right? He just looks at the data. Anyways, do I see the similarities to 2017? That is a good question, right? Well, if we look at 2017, in a sense, as far as price action goes, I mean, the top wasn't the same at all. The top was not the same at all. 2017 was a complete blow off top, and you can see in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, and when we dropped in 2 months, we dropped approximately about 70% to the downside, pretty much straight down here. Now you can see what we did here. I mean, we topped out here. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, and we've dropped approximately about 55%, right? So 2017 was a little bit more volatile in that sense, and we didn't have that quite blow off top, right? We had that more of the wick off distribution top, right? That's a little bit different this time. So it's just a very different cycle in general. I mean, this cycle was us pretty much, for at least so far, has been pretty much us going straight up for the most part, right? We didn't have a ton of pullbacks. 2017 was up 40%, up 40%, up 40%, up 40%, up 40%, right? It was constant 30%, 40% pullbacks. We didn't get one of those in this bull market. I think the biggest pullback we got was this one, and we pulled back approximately about 33%, right? So very, very different in structure, almost nothing as far as similarities here. We haven't really got that dead cat bounce yet either. You see in 2017, I mean, we got right here, we got a dead cat bounce of approximately 35%. Right here, we got a dead cat bounce of approximately 85%. Right here, we got a dead cat bounce of, 50%. We haven't seen that dead cat bounce yet. I mean, the biggest bounce we got up was approximately about, I guess we went up 31% there from the wick, but in general, we haven't seen that massive dead cat bounce yet, which I do think will come at some point. It's just a matter of when. I can't predict it, right? I got the crystal ball. Still can't predict it. Building the steam for that push up. Yeah. That's bad. Do you see any similarities? Hey, just jumped in. What's up? WTMKE? I think your name's White Mike, but I could be wrong. I think you just got rid of the eyes. I think you talk about Michael Jordan there, because you put 23. Rejected. Can you say hi to my hubby, Shane Mickelson? Shane Mickelson, hello. Amanda. Saying hi to Shane Mickelson. That's pretty funny. Volume keeps getting lower and lower. Yeah, I mean, as the volume continues to get lower, guys, that's when you usually see that big move, right? The lower the volume gets is when you see the big move. I think it could be correlated to this, this downtrend coming here, right? If you extend this out, this downtrend is about to meet SHIB billionaire. Congrats on becoming a SHIB billionaire, Smitty. There you go, man. But if you look here, I think the volume continuing lower, if you look at the volume profile, right, compared to the pattern here, I think people are onto something that's somewhat here. With the lower highs over time, we'd have one fake out to the upside, and then we started to make the downtrends again, and us getting support at this general green box. What's going to happen here is we are going to get stuck here between this purple downtrend and this green box. So eventually, we're going to have to decide, are we going to break this to the upside? Are we going to break this to the downside? Technically, this has to break out, most likely. You could draw the green box a little bit lower, but it's probably going to end, looks like at least by the end of July, depending on where you draw the line to. So we could be seeing at least another month of us oscillating in this area, or we could just completely defy this. And the problem with that is we already broke above it right here. So can you really use that trend line as a end all be all? I don't know, right? You easily could just pump back up here to the red box and completely validate it, right? So, I don't know. But I think likely we see a move, at least a short-term, decent-sized move by the end of July, right? Say hi to myself. What's up, Change Our Parkways? What's up, man? We'll be stuck in the zone until tomorrow evening. Check the whack off. Whack off's right here, man. This is our possible whack off, but we have to make a higher low here, I think. If this is the spring, right? We could still be in some type of, you know, accumulation pattern where this isn't the spring yet. We could still go a little bit lower and make the spring, you know, this area still be lower, right? But if this was the spring, let's pretend it was, we would want to make a higher low here and then make another higher low and then kind of continue up. But like I said, speculation, right? It's speculation. If we come back down here, I think that's going to negate, at least in the short term, the accumulation. I mean, we could be looking at the spring, you know, maybe being down here or something like that, right? That's certainly a possibility as well. Don't rule out that, like I said, do not rule out the 25,000 to 27,000 range, our golden pocket between the 0.618 and the 0.65 Fibonacci on the weekly time frame from bear market low to bull market high. Do not rule out the level in between there, okay? It's usually where we pull back to. Just saying. Did you check on VeChain today? I did not check on VeChain today. I could check on VeChain for you, my brother. For sure, man. VeChain. Wojak. What blue pattern was the top one? Finally, a decent stream. Thank you, Danchi. Thank you, Danchi. Oh, Ecom's Econs times you out, man. I'm not sure why you got timed out there, but maybe you said something rude up top there. I don't know. But glad to have you in the stream. Glad to have you in the stream. Check out VeChain. All right, we'll check out VeChain right now, right? VeChain still has a technical bullish structure, right? Above its previous high. Flipped as support. Flipped as support. So you still have, you know, a bullish structure for now. If you break below 5.9 cents, you could change that, right? You could change that. You want to break below your previous high there. So that's kind of what you're watching for there. I mean, no bullish divergence, no bearish divergence at the end of the day. So you're patiently waiting. I mean, the 20-day moving average seems to be a resistance, just like a lot of these altcoins. The 20-day moving average, until you get back above that, it's going to keep continuing to be a resistance on the way down. That's the level to watch. That's the level to watch. But continue down. Watch for 5.9 cents there for VeChain. That's too funny. Oh no, I don't think he was talking smack. I don't think he was talking smack, Econs, but that's why I was like, oh, he said finally had a good stream, finally found a good stream. And then Econs freaking ban hammered him. And I was like, oh, well, there he goes. He's banned. Is what it is. Is what it is. You can draw a line. You can draw a trend line. Do I stream daily? Yes. You can see right at the bottom of the stream, it says live every day, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream every single damn day. Now, I will be missing 4th of July, right? So you guys are probably missing on 4th of July. I'm going to take the 4th of July off next Sunday. Actually, not next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday. Well, not tomorrow, but next Sunday. 4th of July, I will be taking off. He streamed every day, 2 channels, nonstop. The other channel won't be streaming, but I'm going to be trying to upload at least 1 video on that second channel every single day from here on out. I'm going to try, right? I'm not going to hold myself to it, but yeah, at least 3 to 4 videos a week. I'm going to try for every day, but probably we'll see what happens. Jordan, you've been prematurely placing that helmet on lately, waiting for a better confirmation. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can see every time I try to put on the helmet, I'm like, all right, guys, let's wait for this. Let's wait for this. But, you know, people want me to put on the helmet, so I do what the people want me to do. If people want me to put on the helmet, I'm putting on the helmet. But, you know, we'll see. Thanks for the kind words, GG Allen. It's very nice of you, man. Neil said, you can draw a trend line on the daily RSI spanning back from the beginning of the year. Once we break that, I think we fly up. The daily RSI from the beginning of the year. Where's my daily? Since the beginning of the year. Let's see. Talking about beginning of the year? Oh, beginning of this year. Talking about like this? Something like that? Yeah, I mean, definitely could. Just keep in mind, like breaking trend lines on the RSI, sometimes it can work, but remember this is an oscillator, it's not price action. So do keep that in mind. I have seen stuff like this work before though. So I guess you can't rule it out, but keep in mind that you usually want to see breakouts on the price action, not necessarily the RSI. But I have seen that work before. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I mean, that kind of correlates with the price action, right? Because if we break that level on the daily RSI, I mean, that would probably correlate with Bitcoin breaking out of major resistance. So it would make sense in a way. But yeah, Neil, thanks for the super chat, man. And this chat is generally more hype. Yeah, I mean, we got a good community here, right? I think we do a good job at, you know, weeding out the trolls. And I don't mind the trolls. I'm friends with the trolls, right? There's people in here that troll me on purpose, and I troll them on purpose. But I think we do a good job at creating a good atmosphere in here, for the most part, right? We have some people that, you know, tend not to be the best atmosphere, but like I said, I try to promote the stream as being a safe place for both bears and bulls, as long as we can be respectful, right? We can talk crap to each other, just like if I'm a Pats fan, you're a Jets fan, right? I'll talk crap to you, but at the end of the day, we can still be friends. At the end of the day, we all want the prices to go up. Just like if you're a sports fan, you both just want your team to win the Super Bowl. Doesn't mean you have to be enemies, right? Troll army here. Yes, Smitty is an absolute troll. Absolute troll. Put the beers on and affect the beer market. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Moon phase. The moon phase chart actually probably would work. Let's check out the moon phase chart. We can do that. We can definitely do that. Moon phase. Where are we? Well, where's my daily chart? There we go. Let's get rid of the stock RSI here. Let's get rid of let's keep that. Moon phase. Let's see. Yeah, so we got our new black moon there, I guess you would call it. I don't know if this is the full moon. I don't know what this actually means, but typically this is the bottom, right? So I guess we did get that new moon, so you would expect upwards price action here. I mean, you guys can do your own research on this, but at least from January 27th or 28th, at least this black dot has been pretty spot on as far as relative bottoms. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but if you did trade this, technically you probably would have been up on every single trade. Like if you shorted the white one and long the black one, actually every single time here, I think you would have generally been up. In general, right? Not perfectly, but in general, you would have been up here. So definitely interesting. Definitely an interesting chart here, but not something I would definitely trade off of. But BitBoy is thick. Carol Ann said these moon boys are gonna put a lot of people in bad buying position and feed these market makers. Well, the moon boys on this channel are long-term investors. I think I've talked about that long enough where if you're buying at these levels, make sure you're thinking from a long-term perspective and not a short-term perspective, right? In the short term, we could go down lower, Carolan, I should say, right? Never seen Carolyn spelled like that before, but shout out to you. Like I said, we respect bearish opinions. I mean, we could definitely go down lower, Carolan. But anyone that's buying right now should be holding for the long term, right? If you're holding for the next month, 2 months, I mean, it's definitely a risky proposition because Bitcoin could drop lower. But if you're holding long term, I don't see the risk in buying right now because do we really think for the history of Bitcoin, is it never going to go back above 30,000? No, I think that's very unlikely. Very unlikely. It's forever. Bitcoin will never go back above 32,000 again. That's extremely unlikely. So think about it from a long-term perspective, right? Stay off the grass. Stay off my lawn. You bears. You bears. The black one is the new moon and the white one is full. Gotcha. Thanks for the updates on the moon. 50% off sale. Lol. We are going to look back at this time of the year and wish we could buy at 30K. Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone is thinking. I always do my meme, right? What's my meme? What's my meme, guys? Let's go to the weekly chart, and I'll put up my meme, and we're going to look at my meme, okay? Let's go to the monthly, actually. Let's go to the monthly. Actually, hold on. Let me go to my... Let's just use this one. I'm going to clear this one out. Let's go to the monthly. So everyone up here, right, was saying this. Let's bring up my meme that I love because it's so true. It's so true, and it's going to happen over and over and over again as time goes on. I've seen it dozens, if not hundreds of different times since 2017. But let's just pull up my meme real quick. Everyone up at 65K, if you did a poll, right? If you did a poll at 65K, right? Hold on. I want you bears to be honest, okay? I want you bears to be honest. If we did a poll at $65,000, and I did a poll, and I said, will you buy Bitcoin or altcoins if Bitcoin drops to 30K? I guarantee you that poll would have been 96% yes, 4% no. I absolutely guarantee you. Now, all of a sudden, we do that same poll. I don't want to buy. I just think it's funny. Now, I'm taking this from a long-term perspective. If you're looking to hold short-term, I always agree that short-term price action could go down lower. But let me pull up my meme real quick. And everyone up at that area up there that you see circled on the screen was saying, where's my memes? Memes, where are you? Talking to myself now. Was this? Everyone was saying this. Okay? This was what everyone was saying up at 65K. Okay? This is what everyone was saying. So why all of a sudden everyone's bearish? I understand why everyone's bearish because everyone wants the price to go lower so they can scoop up coins. It's that simple. It's that freaking simple. Okay? Now at some point, we're going to get a bounce, right? And this is going to be a constant thing. So let's say, all right, the bearish scenario. Let's say we feed the bears, right? We say we drop down to 20K. Let's give the bears what they want. Let's give the bears a 20K Bitcoin, okay? I already know this is going to happen. Say if we do drop here to right down to 20K and we're consolidating right here. What's going to happen, right? All the bears right here that said, I'll buy the dip at 20K. I'll buy the dip off 20K. You know what's going to happen? Now they're going to say, it's going to keep raising the bar lower. Now they're going to say, I'm not buying at 20K. Bitcoin's going to 13K. Bitcoin's going to 12K, right? And then what's going to happen? Well, Bitcoin at some point, I'm not saying right now, but at some point, Bitcoin will get a V bottom and leave all those bears in the dust, right? And then everyone's going to FOMO back up and higher, Everyone's going to FOMO back in, okay? And then what are the market movers going to do? Well, they're going to play with the people that FOMO'd in. They're going to make everyone think it was a dead cat bounce. They're going to bring it down a little bit lower. They're going to panic sell again, and then they're going to push it up higher, right? And fake out everyone out in the market. And that's why I always recommend hodling, because your emotions will always get the best of you. As low as this drops, you're going to keep wanting to buy in lower. And then every time it pumps up and comes back down, you're going to think, oh, it's bear market. It's bear market. Yes, at some point, I mean, we could keep dropping down lower here, but at some point, it's going to be the bottom. You can never time the bottom. That's why dollar cost averaging and hodling are the best. I know I sound like George right now, but it's so freaking true. And people don't understand it until they go through a full cycle and realize that the bulls or the whales love to play mind games with you, and you're not going to outsmart them. So if you can't outsmart them, just sit on the sidelines with your crypto, right? But that's my point. I'm not going to go too much into the dollar cost average hodl stuff, because that's George's time to shine at the end of the day. That's George's time at the end of the day. But like I said, I did that in 2017, and that's why I can firmly stand up here and say that, right? So like I said, I got into crypto right here, and I made so many freaking mistakes. I FOMO'd in right here, I believe. I FOMO'd in right here. The whales pushed it down. I panic sold. What happened? They pushed the price back up. I bought right here. I panic sold again. And then I FOMO'd in. I FOMO'd in over here, so I ended up making some money. I actually held the coins down, to be honest with you. But I made a bunch of stupid mistakes in this general area by selling. And then you just kind of realize, like, is it really worth the stress to kind of time the market? No, it's better to just hold. Even if you go down for a couple of years, eventually you're going to make those gains back exponentially. Exponentially, right? And then everyone who laughed at you from buying coins in this area is going to be the ones that say, oh, I wish I could have bought Bitcoin at 5 figures. And then it's going to be a constant cycle. It's going to be a constant freaking cycle. Rant over. Rant over. Bear market going to make a lot of people money. Just got to be smart. I definitely agree, Carolyn. I welcome the bearish sentiment, because at the end of the day, I'm a moon boy. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm a long-term moon boy. I'll always be bullish on crypto long-term, at least the big projects. I think a lot of the small projects won't last the test of time, but I think for the big projects, I'm a moon boy long-term. Short-term, right? The charts look a little bearish, right? They look a little bearish short-term. Medium-term looks like a bounce could be coming somewhat. So what I have to say to that is, I, as a moon boy long-term bull, would welcome lower prices. Lower prices are good, because what do lower prices do? They give you the opportunity to make life-changing wealth. Life-changing wealth happens by accumulating during red days and accumulating during sideways action, really after red days, right? So that's when a lot of people get bored of crypto. That's when a lot of people sell their crypto. That's when a lot of people don't buy their crypto. Everyone wants to buy their crypto when the prices are going up. Everyone wants to buy the crypto when there's hype and there's FOMO. But no one wants to buy crypto when there's fear. No one wants to buy crypto when there's blood in the streets, right? So I know I'm going on a little bit of a rant right now, guys, but I think sometimes it's good to hear this type of stuff, especially coming out of my own mouth, because sometimes at the end of the day, like, it's human emotion, right? You always have things creeping in your mind, but you got to think of the stuff on a zoomed out picture. And that's also why the title today is let's zoom out a little bit, guys. Let's freaking zoom out a little bit. I mean, I went on an hour rant earlier about the bullish and the bearish scenarios. I think I did a pretty good job on touching on both and wasn't too biased on both. But I mean, short term definitely looks a little bearish, guys. Let's be perfectly honest. But long term, we're right on freaking track, man. Right on track. Alfredo said, just got back from the second channel. Thanks, Alfredo, man. Thanks, Alfredo. So it is what it is, man. Yeah, Jordan, don't sleep on Shiba. Shiba.
Just got back from the second channel.
All right, answer this for me, guys. Answer this for me. If someone can convince me why Shiba is a good thing, I'd be open to it. But think about this: in a world where Bitcoin gets adopted by countries, right? So we're seeing 2 countries possibly adopting Bitcoin right now. In a world where Bitcoin gets adopted, we're doing hypothetical here. We're doing years down the road. Hypothetical. Bitcoin gets adopted by people for a store of value, for basically the store of value purposes. Ethereum gets used for whatever reason it gets used, right? Let's say in a world of that. Where does Shiba come into this? What would people use Shiba for? That's why I always tell people, only invest in projects that you could see actually be used in the freaking world. What would people use Shiba for? In my opinion, there's maybe 10 to 15 projects that actually will be used in the future. And Shiba is not one of those, right? Dogecoin is not one of those. Now, if you could convince me otherwise, sure. I'm thinking more long-term. Like I said, this is always a long-term investment for me, at least 5 years, if not longer, most likely longer, depending on what happens in the world, right? Anything can change. But 15 might even be stretching. I think there's maybe only 10 projects that's actually going to have use cases when it's all said and done. So if you're thinking long-term, I don't understand the long-term perspective on Shiba. But, and I think the gains already came, right? I think the gains already came. It's already in the top 50 in market cap. It's not the gains, the exponential gains that you were going to get already freaking came, right? So if you want those exponential gains on a meme coin, Shiba is probably not the one to be in right now because it's already freaking pumped. Now, if it gets pumped by some billionaire, that's stuff you can't predict, right? That's why Dogecoin pumped. That's like the opposite of a black swan event. That's like a gold swan event, right? You can't predict that type of stuff. But in reality, look at that from that perspective. Look at the white paper. I'm not looking at the white paper of Shiba. Not looking at the white paper of Shiba. What do you think those are? It's based on your perspective, right? It's based on your perspective. I think Bitcoin will be around. I think Ethereum will be around. And from there, it's like, it's a toss-up, right? Will Binance Coin be around? Probably, but even Binance Coin, there's always a possibility of, Binance getting shut down or something like that. I mean, there's always that possibility, right? There's question marks on anything, right? Even Ethereum, there's question marks. Like, will Cardano all of a sudden become a way more efficient Ethereum and Ethereum just goes to zero? I don't think that's going to happen, right? But there's always that question. I think... a lot of these coins, there's a possibility of them not being around in the future. I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, I think Cardano will be around, bearing that all this bullish stuff that's going to come out on it actually happens. I think Chainlink will be around. It's used in pretty much everything. Even the coins that I own, like Theta, it's more of a hypothetical, right? VeChain, still more of a hypothetical at this point. There's question marks on every single coin. So that's the fun with crypto, is betting on which ones you think will be the winners in the long term, right? No one really knows. Matt with $2.99 super chat. Thank you, man. Thank you for Matt. Alfredo said just got back from the second channel. Thanks, Alfredo, man. Well, I hope you enjoyed the second channel, man. I'll be uploading pretty frequently over there. Like I said, I'm gonna try and dump a bunch of new topics on that new channel to kind of see what sticks. But I generally enjoy doing those reaction videos to stupid stories, and I plan on doing reaction videos to like stupid TikToks and people saying stupid stuff on the internet. Like I like doing reaction videos. I like talking my head off. So if you guys do want to check out the second channel, link is down below in the description. You guys can check it out if you want, though. No love from Matic. Yeah, it depends. It depends what coins you like, right? There's question marks on every single coin. It's all speculative at this point. I think you're the most passionate crypto streamer in the space. Love your dedication, man, and your positivity. Thank you, man. I try to be positive every day, even during non-positive days. Positivity makes the world go round at the end of the day. Negativity, I mean, I couldn't think of a pun there, but you get the general sentiment, right? You get the general sentiment. Life's just way better when you have positive people around you. So I try to strive for that as much as I can. I mean, every day is not positive for people. I understand. Everyone has their bad days. I have my bad days, but do your best to move on. 8A is trash, unfurnished. Yeah, I mean, it's all speculative. It's all speculative. Even Polkadot speculative. XRP speculative. Like, I'm not saying any of the coins I didn't mention aren't bad coins. I just think Doge, I don't see a reason for it. XRP speculative, right? Polkadot. Will there be a need for Uniswap? I don't know, right? If Ethereum goes away, will there be a need for Uniswap? Who knows? I don't think Ethereum's going away. There's a reason why my wife is Ethereum, right? Litecoin, I never loved Litecoin. Never loved Litecoin. Solana, I like Solana, but Matic obviously has its use cases, but I mean, any coin you really go down here, I'm just there's not one that I'm pointing at that's going to be like this one is going to be used in the world 100%, right? Because for all you know, there could be a better coin that does the exact same thing that comes out and overtakes it. I think Bitcoin's really the only coin that you can point to and say will probably be at least used somewhat in the beginning of some sort of adoption, right? I mean, we've already seen it, so it's fun. It's fun to speculate about. I mean, that's like I said, that's what's fun with crypto, is speculating on which coins will perform both for the short term and for the long term. Galaxy said he overthinks it. So I do overthink it for the short term, but like I said, I think long term. You got to remember, and a lot of people don't realize this, like I always say, in 2017, 90 to 95% of the altcoins that were around then aren't around now. So a lot of the coins you guys are probably investing in now won't be around won't be around after this bull market is over. Okay, you guys, now it might not be exactly like 2017, it might not be 95%, but it'll probably be a good amount of coins that in the next true bear market where these coins drop pretty heavily, I don't think a lot of these coins will last the test of time. That's why I overthink it, because I don't want my investment to go to freaking zero, right? So you can say I'm overthinking it, but when you're a long-term investor, you got to overthink it. You got to overthink it. But short term, any coin can go off, right? We're not talking short term here. Short term, Shiba can do a 20x tomorrow, right? We never know. That's crypto. That's what also makes crypto fun. Stay with BTC. Do you want fries with that? Jordan is a Bitcoin maximalist. What? Brit. Come on, Brit. You know me. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. What the? What? Whoops. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. For anyone that knows me, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. More of my portfolio is in altcoins than Bitcoin. Okay, so I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. Not a Bitcoin maximalist. I own more altcoins than I do Bitcoin percentage of my portfolio. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. My wife is Ethereum. How could I be a Bitcoin maximalist when my Ethereum, I'm literally married to Ethereum. She's literally sitting right there. She watches me every stream. She even goes down on me sometimes during the stream. And I mean on the charts, not the way you guys are thinking. Don't be dirty about it. She goes down on me during the stream. So keep that in mind. As Bitcoin's breaking out right now, Bitcoin maximalist. Woohoo! Let's go. Brit was probably trolling though. Brit was probably trolling. No, the reason why I talk about Bitcoin so much, you guys got to realize that are new to the stream, is the reason why I talk about Bitcoin so much is because that's what matters right now, guys. Like, we could talk about your altcoins all day, but I mean, and the charts for your altcoins could look extremely freaking bullish right now. But as long as if Bitcoin dips, your altcoins are going to dip too. So that's why we spend so much time on Bitcoin right now. For anyone that's been watching my stream for longer, if anyone that's been watching my stream, over here, right, before we dipped, really since all down here, right, we know, like we used to talk about so many altcoins. We used to talk about probably 50 to 100 altcoins every single stream, right? But right now, it just doesn't make sense to look at altcoins. There'll be a time in a place where it will make sense to look at altcoins, and it will make sense to look at, this altcoin's about to break out. Should we be in this altcoin or this altcoin? It'll make sense at some point. Right now, it just makes sense to look at BTC, right? So that's why we talk about BTC so much, because until BTC starts breaking some of these resistances, the altcoins are going to struggle too, right? So always remember that. Expert Crypto Stu, what's up, man? Tell us about a coin that everyone liked and said had good use case that ended up ceasing to exist last bear market or any time before that. It's a good question, man.
Tell us about a coin that everyone
I have to go back.
that had good use case that ended up ceasing to exist last bear market or any time before that.
I'd have to go back and do some research, man. I'll bring that up during tomorrow's stream. All right, I'll actually put a note on there right now. I will bring that up in tomorrow's stream. Altcoin that had a good use case, that's the parameter, had a good use case and doesn't exist anymore. I'll bring that up in tomorrow's stream. That's a good topic, man. I'll have to do some research on that because I got to find one that actually has a good use case. Which there aren't that many coins that have good use cases, dude. There aren't that many. Has to be a popular coin. All right. We can do that. Tron still exists. No name. Tron still exists. Wow, the possibility that those calling you a maxi hadn't realized that BTC dominance makes alt charts track BTC means they need your advice badly. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of times I have to explain why I'm looking at BTC so much. I think people think I'm a Bitcoin maxi because I'm looking at the BTC chart so much. And I have to explain to a lot of people that BTC controls the prices of the altcoins.
Do you think it's worth staking $2,500 worth of MX5 on the new S2.0 platform? Also, why you hate LTC so much? LMAO.
Yeah. Pretty much. At least ETH isn't needy. Unless ETH isn't needy. Yeah, I mean, ETH, she's not needy. She is a little needy. I mean, she just kind of sits there and just kind of, she's looking at me right now kind of weirdly. She's giving me the eyes. Anyways, she kind of just sits there and kind of stares at me the whole stream. But I'm cool with it. Billy said, do you think it's worth staking 25K or 2,500 worth of ETH at 5% on the new ETH 2.0 platform? Also, why you hate Litecoin so much? I know you're trolling, man. I know you're trolling. It's not that I hate Litecoin. I don't think it's going to go down. I think it'll always be around. I just don't see it being a super high performing coin. Like, why would you? I just don't understand why would you invest in Litecoin. Like, I don't understand it. People are going to say, oh, it has higher transactions than Bitcoin. It has this and that and that. Bitcoin is just Bitcoin, though. Like, what's Litecoin going to be used for? And when I think about it, there's going to be coins that are under. There's going to be coins at that same market cap level that are going to outperform Litecoin. And like, you just look at this. Like, would you rather own? I mean, some of these are pretty bad. Like, I don't like Bitcoin Cash either, but I don't like any of the not necessarily knockoffs, but would you rather own Solana, Chainlink, Matic, Theta, right? VeChain? I'd rather own all those than Litecoin. I just don't see the upside with Litecoin. Where's the upside? Where's the upside? Now, it's going to continue up. If Bitcoin goes up, Litecoin will go up in value. I just think it's going to be outperformed by these other coins that are right behind it, right? I'd rather have most of these coins, XRP, Cardano, Ethereum. Now, I'm not a big Polkadot guy, but I think I still rather own Polkadot. I'm not a big Uniswap guy, but I think I'd rather own Uniswap too. Maybe, I don't know, that one's tough, But, I don't know, man. That's just my personal opinion, though. That's my personal opinion. Litecoin is not silver. Bitcoin is gold. Are people still on that Litecoin is silver stuff? Man, Litecoin is not freaking silver, man. If anything, Ethereum is silver and Bitcoin's gold. If anything, Litecoin's not silver. But no, like I said, there's nothing wrong with Litecoin. I just rather hold a bunch of other altcoins than Litecoin. I just don't see the upside to it. That's all. Anyways, let's go through some of the stuff. Litecoin equals low transaction fees for minor transfers. That stuff really doesn't matter at the end of the day, though. People don't care about that stuff, right? I know everyone always wants to talk about higher transactions, lower fees, all this stuff. People don't really care about that, right? What are the big institutions in the big countries going into? Bitcoin. That is actually terrible as far as speed goes. Do they care? No, it's all about name value. Bitcoin, people are investing in Bitcoin. People are investing in Ethereum. People always talk about the incredible gas fees with Ethereum. Do they care? No, because it's Ethereum, right? So everyone always wants to hype up fees and transactions and stuff like that. If that really mattered, countries would be investing into Litecoin right now and not, or countries would be adopting Litecoin as legal tender and not Bitcoin, right? That stuff at the end of the day doesn't really matter. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because people love all the fundamental stuff and all that type of stuff, but that stuff really doesn't matter at the end of the day, in my personal opinion. Now, everyone can have their own opinion. If you think that really matters, go ahead. But all that stuff really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter. But everyone, like I always say, everyone can have their own opinion. But we're all friends, right? We're all friends. So, like I always say, I'm a Patriots guy, right? I can compare the Litecoin fellas to the Jets fans, right? But at the end of the day, we're all friends. We're all friends. Thoughts on Matic? Matic. I mean, Matic had a pretty big run recently, right? So the problem with some of these coins that had a big run recently is if Bitcoin gets a pullback, you're going to see these coins be hit the hardest because technically they're more overvalued right now, right? Because, I mean, Bitcoin was struggling. Matic pumped like 800% while Bitcoin was going sideways, right? So if Bitcoin does break 30K, 28K, Matic is going to have a pretty sizable dip here. It's in a kind of a descending triangle right now, which is typically a bearish pattern. Lower highs, same lows on the bottom side, showing buyer exhaustion. If this was to break to the downside, I mean, you're going to see a pretty significant move to the downside here. Not actually going to look at it, but it's pointless looking at those breakout targets to the downside. I mean, you probably get some support here at about 68 cents. If you do break down, 88 cents, 68 cents seems like your major two supports. And then also your previous high there from about 53 cents. It's kind of the name of the game, right? Name of the game. Link. You got it, Zayad. You can look at link for you. Linky link. Link the slink. Link the damn slink. Let's see. Link the damn slink. What's Link the damn slink doing? Yeah, it's not really in a pattern. It's Link has just been kind of one of the most underperforming ones lately. It's up there at 52. Now it's only at 18. I guess all the altcoins really fell, but Link's definitely take a pretty big hit here. So you got some good support at like 17 bucks. I mean, you try to hold it a couple times here. Desperately trying to hold that level. You don't have any. Actually, you did have bullish divergence here on the daily time frame. We'll see if that really amounts to anything else, right? You had lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the RSI. You can see there. Yeah, post that for you guys. Higher lows on the RSI. That should push the price up here. We'll see if it does. A lot of it's going to depend on BTC, right? If BTC continues up, look for a move for Link up to. You just look at the chart here. I mean, you got a lot of support resistance here for Chainlink, but looks like you have a pretty big one at about right about 20 bucks, right? 20 bucks kind of seems like the swing level for Chainlink as far as support and resistance. You continue lower. I mean, this doesn't show the full chart, but just look lower. I mean, probably looking at like $14.30, your next support there. So it's really Chainlink, man. Chainlink is wow. Look at BTC. BTC, we're going up, guys. We're going up. Let's go. Man, I love doing goofy dad dances. Jordan, going to rant. We are unanimous here. All for another rant. Rant about FOMOing in again. Britt, I mean, I went on so many long-term rants today. I think I went on 3 rants today about long-term investment, right? I think I ran out of hopium for today. I got a same set of hopium, right? I only have so much hopium gas coming out. I'm probably going to call it a stream pretty soon here. Bitcoin should have some resistance up here, guys. I mean, you just look left. I mean, you have a couple highs right here, right here, at that general level you just wicked up to. So it might take you a couple tries, just like it could take you a couple tries to break this level. It might take you a couple tries to break this level too. So if you do break this, I mean, expect to move up to 34,400. Thanks, I appreciate it, man. That's very nice of you, man. Nice of you. Jim said, check ADA. What's ADA up to? I mean, sure, ADA's pumping right now with BTC. Yeah, and the daily doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad in the daily. Like, really what it comes down to for ADA is getting back above the 20-day moving average or breaking $1. But like I keep saying, the whales do not want to go below $1. Every time we get close to $1, Cardano gets eaten up like me on my lunch breaks at McDub's. I eat 3 large fries on my lunch break, right? This is 1 fry. This is a 2nd fry. This is a 3rd fry. The whales, let's get a whale going in here. Whoops. The whales are going to eat all these damn fries. Hold on. No, come back. Come back, whale. Damn. Eat those. You're going to eat all these fries. 1, 2, 3. Every time, but in all seriousness, Cardano doesn't want to break $1. Someone or some group of people do not want Cardano to break $1. So that's really what we're watching here for Cardano, right? Is that $1 level. We cannot break that $1 level. It just doesn't want to happen, right? But if we can get back above this 20-day moving average, I think... What's up, Zayad? He said, do you all really appreciate this, man? Thanks, Zayad, man. That's super generous of you, dude. Seriously. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. But yeah, I mean, you break up this 20-day moving average, I think you're going to just look pretty bullish here for Cardano. But like I said earlier, like you're going to get squeezed between this 20-day moving average and this support. And you're going to have to decide, do you want to break to the upside or downside pretty soon? Might take you another couple weeks, but at some point it's going to happen. Jordan is more clutch than Clayster. Clay.
You all really appreciate this, man.
Yeah, I know we talked about that a couple of streams ago, but I do miss the old days of competitive COD. When I used to watch it when I was like like maybe 7-8 years ago, when it was like Black Ops 1, and not even Black Ops 1, like the Black Ops 2, and it was more Black Ops 2 and the Ghost days. Now, Ghost was a terrible game, but the competitive was good then. Those were the best days. Those were the best days. It was Black Ops 2 and Ghost as far as competitive COD. Just the personalities and stuff like that, but Ghost was an absolutely terrible Call of Duty, don't get me wrong. Black Ops 2, definitely the GOAT Call of Duty in my opinion, though. Black Ops 2 was so freaking good. So freaking good. Thanks for the kind words, though, guys. You guys, it means a lot. It really does. Oops. Means a lot. Definitely. Do more research on ICP before buying. You probably should, guys. You probably should at this point, right? More research on ICP. 202. You forgot 2.0. Thanks, No Name. Appreciate it, man. Damn, Zion coming in hot, dude. Thank you for the super chats, man. I mean, that's unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable. All right, BTC getting a nice bounce here. Of course, it has to bounce right at the end of the stream. But yeah, I mean, looking pretty good right now. Looking pretty good. I mean, we zoom out, it still looks like a little cockadoo at the moment, but I think if we can, I think we're going to retest this purple line like we've done a couple times, guys. It seems like every time we bounce, we come up and test this purple line. It kind of would correlate with this resistance again, so I could see that happening.
I appreciate this, man.
Can't stop laughing. Not the jug, it's a jinx for BTC. Every time I do the jug. Seems that we're working pretty now. But like if we look at the 4-hour time frame, guys, it's really this purple downwards trend line, it seems like. Right? And that's if we went straight up right now, that would be approximately about 35,100. So we're inching up closer to there. We got a lot of work to do. Bunch of resistance. But you know, we'll see if we can break that going into tomorrow, guys. We'll see if we can break it. Fibonacci, up and away it goes. Just notice the McDonald's cap. Get it, gotta get it where you can, bro. Exactly. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. Vegan extra salty fries. Yes. $20 thumbs down. Damn, 20 people dislike this stream. Holy crap. That is insane. That is insane. I always wonder what like the people that come into my stream like dislike. Like, I mean, maybe my attitude comes off a little bit sometimes, but thoughts on Fumuda coin? Just kidding, love you, bro. Cool heads prevail. What is that? What is that, Jacob?
Thoughts on Fumuda coin? JK, love you, bro. Cool heads prevail.
Thanks for your honest opinions. Always fun watching your stream and the people in the chat with fun banter. Shiba to the moon. Cavalier, I can see that you love Shiba based off your logo. Like I said, I will continue to crap on Shiba. Doesn't mean we can't be friends, though, right? At the end of the day. So I love all my Shibers. You guys take the criticism very, very well. If you guys want to crap on my coins, feel free to. Feel free to. We are off financially a little bit.
Always fun watching your stream and the people in the chat with fun banter. Shiba to the moon. Open mouth smile.
Dude. You can dump hundreds into Shiba, but can't tip your boy. Thomas, thanks for the super chat. You guys are going off right now. Thomas with the super chat saying you can dump hundreds into Shiba, but you can't tip your boy. Holy crap, the bird catcher comes in hot. Dude, what the heck is going on right now? Wow. Thanks, guys. You guys are being super, super grateful for all the support of the stream, dude. as always. Like I said, if you guys want to check out the second stream, or the second channel, I plan on putting just as much effort into that channel as this channel. Just because I'm starting a second channel does not mean I will stop putting an effort into this channel. I will be live every single damn day on this channel. You guys will never miss a day from me. Unless I go on vacation, right? Unless I go on vacation. Which you guys don't want me to do, because every time I've gone on vacation, Bitcoin has dipped. What's happened since I haven't gone on vacation, right? Bitcoin's gone sideways. I'm literally the indicator. So just to let you guys know, I won't be streaming on July 4th, right? So if there's ever a day where Bitcoin could dump and could break this support of our green box, will be July 4th, which would really which would really make sense. It would really be a big firework as far as the price action goes for Bitcoin. I know that was kind of a dad joke, but I try sometimes. Mike said, I'm new here, but that's BS. Is anyone disliking the stream? I'm definitely a new fan. thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. I'm new here, but that's BS. Oh no, why did I just read the same thing twice? That was weird. Shiba to the moon. Shiba to the moon. It's crazy, man. But yeah, July 4th, guys. July 4th. You could be seeing some dumpage. Just make sure you keep that. Shiba holders. Sleepy Joe voters.
Shiba holders, Sleepy Joe voters.
Yeah. I mean, when Shiba hits 1 cent, you'll get a $1,000 super hat from me. I'll hold you to that, man. If Shiba hits 1 cent, then I better see that $1,000 super chat, because you'll probably be a billionaire at that point, I'm guessing. So, or at least a millionaire, right? All right, guys, we're probably gonna wind down here. Bitcoin looks like it's going to at least test, based off just a 4-hour time frame. I see probably a retest of at least 33,285. We'll see what happens when we get up there. I could probably see maybe a retest of downwards levels before continuing higher, but that's really it for today. Not much else really going on here. We kind of wait for Bitcoin to make its next run up. We could be waiting for hours, so not going to spend too much time here. But all right, guys, thank you for the support again on the stream at the end. That was absolutely ridiculous, and thank you guys for sticking with me through the thick and thin, through the boring Bitcoin price action. And one day, all the hours of watching the charts and will pay off, right? It will pay off. Especially what I ranted today. Like I said, I wanted to do a longer term time frame stream today, and that's what we did, right? We talked about long-term time frames, how it looks a little bearish within the next month or two, but then it could be extremely bullish after that time frame. That's what kind of went over today. So thank you for sitting through my long-term rants today, and I plan on doing that a little bit more often, as long as the short-term time frame stuff. We won't go away from that, but during boring days like this, I'll try to switch it up a little bit to do some more fun stuff on stream. But safe moon to the moon. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment too much on Safe Moon, man. I mean, you know my thoughts on Safe Moon, dude. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Make sure you guys don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't panic sell your crypto. Make sure you like the stream before you go. Subscribe if you're new. Also, go check out my new channel. Links down in the description. The videos are kind of dumb, but that's the point of them, right? Me making fun of people on Reddit. What could be better? Okay, go check the link down in the description. You'll see second channel. Click that link. Go check it out if you enjoy. Subscribe if you don't. Tell me to screw off. Whatever. Anyways, I'll check you guys tomorrow. I'll let you guys know if I'm going live in the morning. Depends if there's any action. If there's no action, I'm not going to force myself to go on, right? So I'll let you guys know in the morning if I go live in the morning. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow night. All right? Take it easy, fellas and gals, as always. Thanks for watching the stream. Peace.